Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the show today. Very happy to have you here. Hopefully, everybody had themselves a really good weekend. Uh, it's almost sunny today, which is good. How
Mhm.
about you?
No, miserable rain, miserable rain, and cold. So that's fun.
Yeah. Well, that's winter. It's
Yeah,
quite a rainy season, winter. Because it gets all this liquid coming around, but it just comes down soft and fluffy. You know.
yeah. Well, I had some of that last week, on my birthday, because it usually does snow on my birthday, but not anything significant, right? Like a little dusting, just a little white out there. Uh, but no, it's just been doing this miserable thing now where it goes, we're gonna go up to 50 and then rain, get you back down to 20. And that's just your life for the next month or two until it's just cold all the time, bitterly, and most people hate it. Me personally, as long as it's not windy or raining or snowing, I'm fine. If it's sunny out and cold, I can be out in it. Doesn't matter how cold it is. Like I had to go clean my yard up the other day because a raccoon decided to make a happy fun time with my garbage. Um, so I went outside to clean my yard up, but it was only like 20 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And but it wasn't windy. It was nice and sunny, and there was no moisture. It was nice, dry. A dry cold is the best. It's the best. A dry cold for me anyway.
I
It
agree.
doesn't
Yeah,
bother me at all.
I agree.
Yeah.
Let's see here. This is going to drive me crazy because I can't. I'm having mic trouble. I can't hear myself. You guys can hear me, I'm assuming, because Thundera can hear me, but I can't hear myself. So what I'm going to do is isn't going to affect the stream, but I'm going to drop out of Discord, which will shut you down as well, and then I'll come
Uh
back
oh.
in. All right. So everybody, just think about sugar plums.
Yep.
Okay, that'll do it.
He has returned.
I have, and it did nothing.
Ah. You gotta love it, because if you don't,
Yeah, I don't know. It's just gonna drive me crazy though, dude. You know what I mean? Because you can't hear yourself speaking, right?
I mean, I can hear myself because I can just hear myself. But yes, my headset doesn't completely cancel out my own sound. But I know what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh well. This I think it's probably like last time I have to reboot the whole thing. So, ma. Oh well.
I could hear you on the stream. I went and listened while you were gone. So
Yeah.
just so we're clear, that's working.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead with it, everybody. Everybody should still be able to hear me, and we just continue on. Anyway, so and I don't know. Maybe I can do like this and just have do like the hippity hop peoples do, and just have one ear.
The hippity hop. Oh no.
Yeah. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah, I'm going to have to work on that. But it's the second time it's happened, so yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
back
yeah,
on
yeah.
topic. What were we talking about? Oh, snow.
Snow and cold. The cold, everybody. The cold. Everybody's favorite thing. The cold.
Well, you know what I set up for us today? The top, I think it was 23. I don't know why they don't do top 10. It's all weird now. But the top Christmas movies of all time by Entertainment TV. That should be good.
Oh no.
Yeah. I imagine there'll be some crazy things in there. But what do you think is the best Christmas movie of all time?
I am the absolute wrong person to ask this question. Probably though, I'm just gonna go with the classic, being "It's a Wonderful Life" because it's one of the best movies, period, of all time.
It is a good movie, but it is somewhat around Christmas. But no, I'm going to go with
What do you mean around? It's a literal Christmas movie. What do you mean?
yeah. I would say probably The Miracle on 34th Street. But you know, my favorite one of all time is probably a shoot 'em up with Mel Gibson. Yeah, it's called Lethal Weapon.
This guy.
And he's got another one where he plays Santa Claus. You know, that's a shoot 'em up too.
This guy.
Yeah. Well, you don't like
I
shoot
did
'em
read
ups?
somebody's no, I mean I do, but I don't know about them for Christmas movies. I did read somebody's write up on Die Hard since people in the chat are mentioning Die Hard.
Right.
And they actually made a good case for it, so I have to concede that Die Hard is officially a Christmas movie as far as I'm concerned because the main crux of his personal journey with his wife, which is really the story, it's a love story,
Sure.
is when she's given that watch, that Rolex, whatever it is, from her boss, and her boss kind of is very dismissive towards her husband about it because he's a cop, he doesn't make a lot of money, blah blah blah, and she doesn't really attack him or anything, right? She doesn't really go along with it, and basically the idea is the story for her is that her husband can still save this marriage. Basically, just in that scene alone is what they're telling you, because she's not automatically against him, right? She's not on making jokes at his expense or anything like that, uh, because he's a poor cop. And by the end of it, if you notice, the very last thing right before the bad guy falls to his death, the way he's holding on is that watch, the very same watch. He's holding onto her wrist, and John undoes the watch and he falls, and the watch goes with him, basically symbolizing that this watch was a symbol of the thing that was keeping them apart as a couple, and now they're able to come back together. Granted, if you watch any of the movies after it, that falls apart anyway, but for this one film, it's a very much a family being reunited storyline
Yeah.
set in a terrorist attack on a plaza.
Right. By one of the greatest villains of all time. Um,
That's right.
yeah. But yeah, yeah, Hollywood can't stand families being together. They hate it. They're communists.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that
They don't like it.
slander? We got to watch out because people are having to pay out for slander now. It's been a while.
It's back. We're so back, Chester. We're at levels of back that we haven't been since, I don't know. We might even be beyond back. We just might be here.
Yeah.
We might have gone beyond back at this point. It's been a pretty great week when it
Well,
comes to these things.
I do have some negative things to report, though.
Uh-oh. No,
Yeah.
no, we don't need that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one, as far as Trump, of course, and Stephanopoulos, that idiot, uh, uh, only costing ABC or Disney, of course, $15 million for a
Yep,
defamation suit. But in truth, if he took him to court, he might have got 100 million. To be
probably,
fair,
but
he
he's
probably could
he's
have
got
squeezed
business
him.
to attend.
I know he does. But there's something going on that the mainstream or even the lower level media is not picked up on yet. And
Hmm.
I think it's one of the most serious things I've ever heard in my life, actually. Visa, MasterCard, which, don't be confused, those are owned by the same people. Yeah. So I know everybody think it's a separate company. It's not.
Oh, you're
It's
not
good.
allowed to tell him about the cartels,
Oh
Chester.
well,
Can't tell him about this.
it's that it's
Ah,
that banking cartel, right?
the cabal.
The cabal, whose mouthpiece is the United Nations. But anyway,
Yeah.
those guys, uh, they are now. People don't know if it's a field test to see what they can get away with, or it's just Japan in particular. But
Yep.
Visa and Mastercard are just starting to disallow to choose what companies in Japan get to use their service or not. And it seems to be quite indiscriminate. Some of them are anime sites that also have, pornographic things on it, and you have a lot of people saying that's great, but it's also things that have nothing to do with anything pornographic whatsoever. Um, Visa just, and of course we know that Japan's been coming under a lot of pressure to gay it up more, woke it up more, and Japan's just not capitulating. And they're not taking in refugees, and there's been a lot of pressure on Japan to do so. Keep in mind that Japan is being quite successful in certain fields, particularly with anime, manga. That is certainly hurting Disney directly, and of course China at all times. So, what is the exact motivation is not known. However, Visa and MasterCard or any other company should not be allowed to arbitrarily decide with their unelected asses who gets to do business and who doesn't. They are a utility by this point, right? If you got some little mom and pop place, it's like white men have to pay double. Fine. I hope you stay in business. But Visa, MasterCard are a utility by this point. Would you not agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I've advocated for years that MasterCard, specifically MasterCard, Visa probably too, but MasterCard definitely should be nationalized. It should be turned into something akin to either the post office or maybe even the Federal Reserve, because, I mean, let's be honest, that's what it is anyway.
Yeah.
Uh, it just needs to officially be as such. And there's no good reason it shouldn't, because if you do that, then it has to play ball by certain rules it doesn't have to play ball by now. Like
Right.
the U.S. Postal Service it's mostly in the U.S., but obviously it works internationally too. There's certain rules they have to abide because they're part of the federal government. So anybody, for instance, I used to work for the post office, so I know this for a fact. Anybody who works there has to swear an oath to the Constitution, the same as any other federal agent. The same exact one. All enemies, foreign and domestic, the whole deal. Uh,
Uh-huh. Oh,
and
there it is. I came back. Oh, I'm back.
he's back. He's here.
I'm back.
So that is just one example of, anybody who works for the post office has these certain rules they have to follow because they're under the umbrella of the federal government, which is in theory under the umbrella of the Constitution.
Right. Yeah.
Uh, so I just think there's very little downside. I get there is some downside to it, but I'm not saying you nationalize the whole industry. You just nationalize one of them, and then you give people, just like you do with the post office, which is mostly used for junk mail and Christmas cards now. Uh, you give people a cheap option. Now I get it. The post office is horribly managed, and they're always out of money. I'm not saying they're not. They are, but that's a problem of efficiency in government. That's not a problem of government. Government itself, when done well, is phenomenal. It's one of the most incredible forces you could have in your society is a good government. The American people have been under the yoke of bad government for so long
Yeah.
that
It's been a long
we just
time.
don't even recognize it anymore.
Yeah, it is a problem. But oh, whew, I can hear again. That's awesome.
He's
But
back.
yeah, I figured it out. I figured it out. I'm not a Luddite.
Yep.
I'll let that just float there for a minute. I'm sure the New Zealander will have to ask me what that means as he frantically tries to type it in the computer. Anyway, just joking, you little peachy thing. But do you have peaches in New Zealand?
I'd imagine. I
I
mean, they
don't
get them from
know.
here probably, or from Australia, or I don't know.
You know where the bit, when you want to cook a peach, you want an American one. That's for sure. But when
Yeah.
you want to just eat a nice chilled peach, you want a Japanese one without
Yep.
question. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, now, okay, it only took you 30 minutes. All right, the computer is starting to figure itself out. All right, it took a little bit. It was talking to itself. Now everything's working. All right, good.
Now it's working. Now we're back.
Yeah. All right. So now that my brain is not thinking about several things at the same time, what are we talking about?
We were talking about the cold, then we were talking about
Oh,
the winning
Visa.
and
Visa.
Visa.
Yeah, no, this is like I said, there's a few YouTubers that are picking it up. Um, this needs to be mainstream news. That is very serious. That is very, very serious, man.
Yep.
That you would have these private institutes, which we know are greatly behind the DEI stuff. This Bilderberg Group, or whatever they have decided to change their name to, because they do that from time to time. They they don't have the right to do that, dude. And why are they attacking Japan specifically? Is it like some people think it's just a dry run to see what they can get away with before they have big pushback? Of course, the Japanese
Hmm.
government is pushing back instantly, and good for that. Good for them in doing that. Or is it just a focused attack? Keep in mind, China does have a lot of influence, whether it be directly or indirectly, because a lot of the funding to China stuff came out of that same group, right? With Kissinger. I
Right.
keep mentioning Kissinger, but he was their lead dog in all of that, right?
Hmm.
And so is it more specifically targeted toward Japan just to try to hurt the economy here, or is this something that they're planning to do with Visa? Because I mean, if you think about it, Visa more than Mastercard is the world's number one credit card. Everyone uses it. It's in so many
Right.
pockets. I don't even know how many. I don't even want to think about the amount of money they're
I
sucking
mean,
up month to
I
month.
have a Visa
Yeah.
in my pocket right now.
And what happens if Visa starts saying, "Well, yeah, we decide you can't absorb that content," right? Let's say
Right.
something. Let's go straight to it because they're not going to stop with Japan, right? Unless it's something specific. Let's say they decide, well, we don't like what Rumble's got to say, so
Hmm.
you can't use your Visa for anything Rumble affiliated, right? Or let's say that we don't agree with the Republican Party, the GOP, and you can't give donations to them via Visa, right? Now, I mean, there's
Mm-hmm.
always ways around things, of course. And honestly, I think we should get back more to banknotes and cash because this idea of them, you have so many countries trying to push that we go fully digital. Well, here's an example of why you shouldn't do that right here. So
Right.
Visa's helping us out by showing that how much of an asshole they can be. So maybe we shouldn't do that, right? But this is huge news, dude. That's a big deal, dude. That's a big deal, and
Yep.
nobody's talking about it.
Yep.
I mean, honestly, a few people here in Japan have heard the government talk about it. I think I heard Romanian V talking about it. I'm talking about it because I have no voice whatsoever. But that is one of the most concerning things we've ever talked about on this channel, dude.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. Um, Hopefully, like I said, yeah, the Japanese are telling them to kick rocks for the most part. But yeah, no, it's not something they like when they got involved. A bunch of these companies, I think Visa did it as well, started to get involved in blocking payments to like gun
Yeah,
manufacturers and all these
that
things.
there's another example. Yeah.
These are things they shouldn't be allowed to do.
No.
They should not. If we're gonna have listen, if you want to have a discrimination laws on the books, then they got to apply to everything. Period. You're not allowed to discriminate for anything other than what you consider business malfeasance for a business to business situation, which would be, breaching contracts, stuff like that. Because you can't have this arbitrary thing with these massive companies like Visa, right? They're just too big, too powerful. They're a commons into themselves. Like we were saying, everybody's got a Visa, or everybody knows somebody who's got a Visa. It's one of those things. Like it's the same thing. You can't allow phone companies to just randomly start shutting off people's lines for no reason. just because they disagree with their political
Yeah, no,
opinion or something.
we need to create something alternative that cannot be messed with.
Yeah,
And of course, because we're talking internationally. So now you start running into other problems, right? Because not all countries have the same laws in regards to the same things. For instance, in America and, several of the, what we consider kind of Western English powers, their age of consent is 18, right? And it's
right.
fine. It's their country. They can do whatever they want. But the majority of the planet, the age of consent is 16, right? So now you're
Right.
running into a problem. Like I know Sweden was having a problem. Of course, they have a lot of problems. But Sweden was running into a problem because they had a. This is years ago. I don't know what the situation is now, but I remember reading about it years ago. They had some porn site, right? In Sweden. But in Sweden, the age of sexual consent is, keep in mind, age of consent for marriage and sexual consent can be different
Hmm.
depending on the country you're talking to. But they had some porn site where in Sweden it was you had legal sexual consent at 17 years old, which is an odd number. But
Right.
nevertheless, so there was a porn site that came up that was taking advantage of that called 17, right?
Hmm.
And to try to get to, ooh, they're a year younger guys, as if that means anything, but whatever. But they were promoting it that way, and of course they came into legal trouble from other countries like America and Britain, Canada,
Hmm.
well, I don't know about Canada, but I'm assuming that their consent laws are different. So, fair enough. But because I'm not arguing the law, I'm arguing how do you implement it internationally if you're going to start censoring things. Of course, it's supposed to be an American-based company. Don't be fooled by that. That is owned and powered by the people of Sweden. That's all I'll say.
Right.
All right. But how do you deal with that? Well, Visa traditionally had just ignored all things unless they had some pushback, some real big pushback, um, and then as it should be. But they're starting to, make excuses. Like the initial attack here in Japan was against an anime site that had adult stuff on it. It wasn't just adult stuff, but it was a big chunk of it was adult stuff. And they were making the claim there. These are private emails that Visa is sending to people, and Visa is Mastercard. It's the same company. It's the Bilderberg Group, right? They're saying that do not release this email, or yada threat, right? And then you're going to do this, or you're going to be knocked off. You're going to be excluded, right? Of course,
Hmm.
some people are releasing those letters and saying, "Screw you, Visa, Mastercard," right? But they were going after something that you do have some people that are like, "Yay, we get rid of porn." Okay, and I understand that argument. I do.
Hmm.
But now it's moved beyond that because it had nothing to do with that. It's something else is going on. Like I said, it's either a dry run or it's trying to diminish the economy of Japan. Either
Yeah.
way, I don't care, right?
Yeah.
It's not a good thing, right? And if it's hard for me to believe that it would be, solely to try to bolster China because China's economy is already popped. 'Kay, you ain't saving that. You're not saving that. China might go into this long, cold, socialist winter like the Soviets did, right? That might well happen. The people of China might not be free for a very long time. That could happen. We saw it happen in the Soviet Union, right? I mean, that was, what, 80 years they were under that totalitarian regime, right?
Yes.
Even though it had failed long before the end. So who knows what's going to happen for China? But China has popped. It's absolute, dude. Every single day, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. Every single day, there are mass killings in China. Every
Lovely.
day. Now, where are these mass killings coming from? Some of them are involved in the government, sure. No one should be surprised. But there's so much stress on society, and here in Asia, they have a very unique thing that we don't see in the West in the same way. It's called rage against society attacks, is how it would translate into English. And people are just frustrated with life because they don't have any money, they can't get a job, they can't get a wife, or whatever it is. They're just frustrated, and they're going out and stabbing people and just anybody just to kill a
Hmm.
human, or taking vehicles and running people over. And that's the main one's been going on. So much so that Chinese have been putting bollards. You know what a bollard is?
Yes.
Okay. Just because I can't. I've been gone so long. I don't. We didn't really have bollards when I was young, so I don't know if America called it something else. But anyway, but anyway, they're putting bollards up everywhere to protect from these crazy drivers just randomly killing other humans. Right. The problem is it's China, so their bollards are hollow, little chicken wire with a little bit of cement on the outside and polished. They're not real, so they're going right through the bollards. So instead, they're putting like bollards like 10 deep, hoping that will slow the car down, which it probably won't anyway, because they can't build anything. Nothing is sustainable in China. Nothing. They can't anything that is built, you name the object, even like trucks. You would think trucks that carry goods would be built by a simple standard, right? I mean, right?
Hmm.
No,
Hmm.
they're driving down the road, going around a corner, and the whole back of the thing just collapses and falls on the road because they can't even weld correctly. That's
Crazy.
how bad China is. But you have these mass killings every single day, and it's not necessarily one a day. It's often multiple a day, right? You have
Right.
arsony going on all over China all the time. Now, it's speculated that the majority of that is for insurance fraud. But either way, right? It doesn't matter. You have explosions going off all over China all the time, dude. What are they coming? Why people don't know? They're just happening. Even in the most level one areas that they try to, the Potemkin village type areas, right, where they try to show, look how great China is, right? They do like that, right? Don't go to the countryside. Do keep in mind the Chinese government considers you to be above the poverty line if you make $800 a year.
Wow.
Okay, just keep that in mind. And money in China spends at about 30% of our value, right? So just kind of reduce the cost of things and how you spend it by about 30%. So it's not that different, right? It's not like we're saying, 800% or 1200%, right? It's just
Right.
30% down. So it's kind of like going to a poor Georgian town, like
Yeah.
in Georgia or Mississippi or something. And you're like, my God, look at the gas price. Or, oh my goodness, I just picked that up for $1.50. It's like that, right? So it's not that different. So when I say 800, it's actually 700 something. I just can't remember the number, so I run it up. But $800 a year, that's that's ridiculous, dude. If you're only making $800 a week in America, you need to do better, right?
Hmm.
$800 a week. I mean, that's what 24, 32. Well, no, I guess that'd be okay. I guess, but anyway, but the point being, that's China's opinion, right?
Right.
So the poverty there is incredible. But even if you go to the Potemkin villages or cities that they try to show off to the world how amazing they are, you are having these same things happen: fires, bombings, attacks, all kind of stuff. The cyber attacks in China against its people and vice versa. It's just insane. So China has popped, I mean, fully popped. It's just not been told so yet, but it is popped. So if you're trying to shore up the Chinese somehow by tearing down the Japanese, I don't you're a bit late to the game, is my point. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, what do you think this whole Visa Mastercard thing is?
I don't know. It
I
could
don't know
just be
either.
them
Yeah.
trying to exercise a little bit more control, seeing what they can get away with type stuff. which
Why
would be,
Japan though?
I'll tell you why Japan, because the West has adopted manga and anime at such a level, and they can't control it. See, the powers that be, the people who have enforced the woke nonsense on us, it's come from everybody's got this wrong. Well, not everybody, but a lot of people have this wrong. We have this idea that this stuff is coming from university students or college professors or blah, blah, blah. No, no, no. This is coming from the top down. A lot of it actually is coming out of China. It's coming from the top down for a reason, because they absolutely know what effect it was going to have, the exact effect that it did. It atomized our culture. It made us all, on each other's throats. This is what they want, because what scared them, what scared the powers that be, the masters, if you will, was 2008 to 2012, when the people finally started to be like, you know what? No, they're the problem.
Occupy
They're the
Wall
problem.
Street.
You had Occupy Wall Street. Before that, you had the Tea Party. You had a bunch of other small movements here or there. All of these were eventually co-opted by insane leftists or corporatists.
Well, they sent their
But
spies in, right?
yes, but in response to this, what they decided was we need to really ramp up the social messaging, and we need it to go only this one way, because the data shows that those people who agree with this stuff will become what a term we've all heard, whales. They'll become the people
Yeah.
who fanatically support anything we do, and they'll love it and blah, 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 blah. Problem is that doesn't work. As we've seen, it just keeps costing them money. That data that they were relying on, I've read those studies on my old computer. I have those studies. They're completely horrifically flawed. They were asking a very specific subset of people their opinions, and they got their answers. The truth is, the only way to genuinely create long-term, lifetime, if you will, customers, which is what you're looking for, that's what they are, is to produce good content, quality content that they like and enjoy. One of the reasons why Star Wars was so beloved for so long, and they killed that, is because George Lucas largely stepped away from it and let other people make really, really cool stuff at a professional level. And it grew and sustained the fandom in a way that very few other things have ever experienced. But it's also because some of the stuff that was coming out, the supplemental stuff, was phenomenal. Genuinely phenomenal. Beautifully written books, fantastic comics, just all sorts of things, right? So that's my example. My point is, these people have failed at every turn with this stuff. So now they're just going to go see soft powers failed. That doesn't work anymore. The right wing, and really what I call the right wing, is just people who are tired of this crap, is ascendant everywhere on the planet right now, where they hold anything that resembles democratic elections. The right wing, quote unquote, keeps winning, and winning in huge numbers in some cases. And the reason why they're just going to go, okay, well, we're just going to go to hard power now, because soft power won't work anymore. They can't.
Right.
They can't control. I mean, look at the last election in America. You had Donald Trump, who spent, I think, a tenth or maybe like a 20% of what the Democrats spent on his campaign, and he won the biggest electoral victory for a Republican
Well,
in decades.
but they give him free
Uh,
press all the time.
yeah, well, because he's smarter than them.
Yeah.
But my point is, their money systems aren't working like they used to. So now they're just going to try and force the issue.
Yeah.
They're going to try and shut you down. They've been doing this to small people. Hell, they even tried to do it to Trump and his wife, shutting you out, debanking you is what we call it. Now
Sure.
they're going to go broad scale. They're going to do it to whole countries. They already did it to Russia. Look what they did to Russia after the Ukraine invasion. They debanked the shit out of them.
They did, but Russia figured it out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
The
Well,
thing
the
is,
bear
could we figure
is
it out
hard.
quickly?
The bear is hard to handle. I don't
It
think we're
is.
going to
It
have
is
to.
hard. Yeah,
I think
maybe
these
not.
companies are really, really playing with fire. We now have the most secure and best alternative we could have ever asked for in crypto. Crypto has a lot of people who are detractors, and I get why, and I actually agree with most of their points. However, there's no other option right now. You've got your Bitcoins, you've got your Ethereums, you got your these and your that's, different cryptos. You have those, or you have the cartel, the cabal. That's it. Now, they control a lot of it. They've been buying it up, buying in, because they see what they're
Yeah,
dealing
no,
with
they
now.
have. Yeah, they've caught up.
Uh, but regardless, it's still a better alternative. You cannot chase what isn't out there, right? We don't have a perfect solution. There's not something somebody can just flip a switch and now we have a better system. We have the system we have, and the only thing we can do is fight within that paradigm. And right now, that your best bet. I mean, look at Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin was up like $103,000, something like that today, something like that, for one Bitcoin, which is obscene. There's never been an asset in the history of the world that's worth that much money. It just does. That's simple per unit anyway. Uh, it's an obscene amount of money that one Bitcoin is now worth, and
Yeah.
this is one of the other things that terrifies them because they could very well be replaced. These companies think they're irreplaceable, that we can't come up with systems to get around them. That's simply untrue. Visa and MasterCard aren't even that old, these companies. When you think about it, when you put them on the grand scale, the people who own them are, but them themselves are relatively new technology. In the scheme of it, I think when did Visa come out? Like the 50s or the 60s? It's not
I
that
don't know.
long.
I don't know.
So they could very easily be replaced, and they are being replaced. They have people out there who now have Bitcoin cards and other forms of cards like this. I think the move towards a more digital currency is a double-edged sword. There's a lot of good that comes with it because you get rid of the middlemen, as Ray Thulu said here in the chat. Get rid of the middlemen, but it
Mm.
also then gets rid of the physical, and we don't want that. Not
Right,
having
no.
physical money is a very, very bad
It's
idea
a
for
problem.
everybody
Yeah.
involved.
And
Yep.
Japan refuses to do that, by the way. That might be another cog in the wheel
Good.
here. But you mentioned soft power because, one of Japan's greatest soft power points is its manga anime, right?
Yeah.
Also, it's cars and electronics and stuff like that. But it just offhand though, I agree. Muppet Christmas Carol is amazing. But I mean,
Yep.
if it
Yep.
were Visa and Mastercard were simply going after things that they considered sexually repugnant, right?
Yep.
Okay, I don't think they should be doing that, but I understand the argument,
Right.
right? I mean, at least that I would understand. But it's not. It's not. They're not attacking just those things. They're attacking anything. They're just attacking Japan is what they're doing. And so it's not that one dimensional. But whatever it is, I'm going to keep an eye on it. Matter of fact, I should. You know what I should do? Because I know who owns them, and that's all I really needed to know in my head. But
Hmm.
maybe I should go look into exactly how it got presented to the public, and I probably won't like what I find out.
You won't, I'm sure. I'm
No,
sure it's
no,
misery wrapped up in more misery. Just
no,
a misery sandwich is what you're probably
no.
going to end up with. I know these people are evil. I mean, we can dance around it, or we can just go right at it. They're evil, vile, wretched people that we've allowed to have far too much power in the modern society, and that time needs to end. And I
Yeah,
am hoping we are getting very, very close to their demise because it would be better for everybody, just everybody, if these companies were either brought to heel or brought down.
yeah. Well,
The argument in Fight Club, the movie, and the book too, but definitely the movie because more people have seen the movie, is correct. Whether the methods are is not. That's let's not go blow up buildings, guys. That's not going to solve anything. But the the argument is correct. These institutions are parasitic by nature. They shouldn't be allowed to be the way they are, and they don't have to be the way they are. In places like the Middle East, Muslim countries and stuff, they're not allowed to charge interest. There's no interest. You can still get a credit card. There's just no interest on it. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Wait a minute. If you can do that, then why are you allowed to do it? Well, they're allowed to because they buy the politicians in the West who will go on ad nauseum convincing everybody that interest is a good thing. Yeah, if
yeah.
you're the one collecting it,
If you
it's
don't
a
want
great thing.
collecting
If you're
it,
the one
yeah,
collecting it,
yeah,
but no, it's one of those things. Like there are other means of producing a modern economy, or at least a whatever economy. You don't have to necessarily fall for these tricks of these banksters and these globalists, because that's who owns these companies is the globalists, and it has been for ever. So I really think we're entering an age where people aren't falling for their tricks anymore. at least not on a scale that we've seen. They'll change their tricks, of course. They're not stupid. That's
No,
a
I
trap that
wish
the
they
left falls
were.
into. Yeah, that left falls into with Trump. They think he's an idiot. I'm like, no, guys, he's not an idiot. You just don't. You might not understand him, but that doesn't mean he's stupid. It just means you don't understand him.
Yeah, and
Uh,
besides, it doesn't matter. Trump doesn't have to be smart. What Trump surrounds himself with smart people.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. He's very much a. You know, one of the things that Tucker Carlson said very recently, and I agreed with him. I never heard it put this way before, but he's correct. To be a great leader requires exactly one trait, and that's courage. Everything else is secondary to courage. If you don't have the courage to be the one to stand up and say, we're going this way, then it really doesn't matter how smart or
True.
talented or empathic or whatever other things a leader should have you are. It doesn't matter because you're never going to be the one out in the front. And no one can say with a straight face, unless they're just full of vitriol, that doesn't have courage. That's insane. That's an insane thing. Even if you don't like the guy, that's an insane thing to say. He clearly does. He took a bullet to the head
I
and
think you're
stood
right.
up.
He
Stood
did.
up and then started
He
pumping his
did.
fist. Like, is that all you got? That is insane levels of courage. 99% of humanity doesn't have that courage. And this rich billionaire, mostly a twat from New York, has it. It's amazing. But he does. And that's why he gets surrounded by the best people very
Right.
often. That's
That's
why
why they
they
kissed the
come to
ring.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why
they
they
come to
kissed the
him
ring.
because they know he's the guy who will charge into the flames.
Yeah.
He'll do it.
No, that's true. Absolutely true. And I want let's expand this conversation a little bit because um, we all noticed, we all saw how, of course, they chose Kamala Harris because she was easy to control, right? Because you're normally when you choose your vice president, it's usually the runner-up, right? Or
Hmm.
the third or fourth place, right? It's someone at the top of the ticket. So you have a strong showing.
Right.
Kamala literally was the last bottom of the ticket, and they chose her. And of
Okay.
course, when they were forced to, when Joe just got so bad they couldn't hide it anymore, and they were forced to switch over to Kamala. And don't listen to who they point fingers at and blame. This was none of these decisions are being made by the Bidens or Harris or any of these people, right? But they put up Harris to run and acting like it was a real thing when anybody with any sense knows there's no way she's going to win anything. And of course, they did that because they had $1 billion to get at, and of course, it disappeared. Matter of fact, they screwed up their accounting a little bit and went 20 million over. Oops! But they had to get that $1 billion out into people's hands, right? They got to get that money in the right pockets. You see,
Yeah.
and of course, they'll never be able to track that money. I guarantee you. But we all know it was a joke, or I mean, those of us who were paying attention, Kamala was never a chance to win, right? It
Right.
was a nonsense thing. It was just about making noise and moving money. However, we see a very similar thing going on, and I wonder how many people are swallowing the pill. Um, we saw all of a sudden, Assad's regime fell in Syria, just out of nowhere over a couple of weeks, right? And we can see very clearly, if you're paying attention, what happened, right? The Iranians
Right.
have been given some kind of deal because they backed up and left out of Syria, even though that was their pipeline. So something very serious had to happen for them to do that. Turkey was strongly backing what they call themselves HTS now, but it's Al Qaeda. Yeah, okay, don't
Yeah.
be fooled. And of course, you had ISIS which of course are calling them something else coming out of Iraq in the south. But the Americans have been bombing the shit out of those ISIS people all of a sudden, right? And other attacks have been going on as well to basically push the ISIS out and give it all to Al Qaeda. So Al Qaeda now, or HTS, I'm just going to call it Al Qaeda, are now basically in charge of Syria. They're already starting to do their typical, Islamist nonsense is already happening, right? But they're setting up, and there's this guy, an Al Qaeda guy, like one of their kind of generals, right? Been around for a long time. He's been on most wanted list for a very long time. Terrorist, 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 right? All of a sudden, they trimmed his beard up, put him in a button-up shirt and a pair of slacks and a Rolex
Hmm.
watch, and now we're trying to sell us that this terrorist who's been in the trenches murdering and raping people for what, 2 decades, is
Hmm.
now all of a sudden this respectable leader of New Syria, right? It's the same snow job they did with Harris, right? And there are multiple other examples over history, right? But I'm wondering how many people in this day and age are just going to buy it. I mean, he's
It
just a terrorist.
looks like quite a lot so far. But the people who I think Mr. Trump listens to, because believe it or not, I know lefties like to say he doesn't listen to anybody. He's too egotistical. That's not true. He clearly does. He definitely listens to his son Barron. Not even a question,
He listens
which
to
is
a lot of
impressive.
people, dude.
He listens to Elon clearly, or the Doge wouldn't exist. He listens. I don't know if he listens to his other sons very much. I don't know why. Maybe he just doesn't. But he definitely listens to a lot of people, and that's a good thing. That's what you want. That's another sign of a good leader is they're a good listener. Uh, and so it just depends on if the people he's listening to, he has around him, understand what's happening. Tulsi definitely understands what's happening. She's been on this for almost a decade. She knows exactly what's going on over there. She was very clear on it. It was one of the reasons I first started to support her, even when she was a Democrat, is because I was like, wait a minute, hold on. Miss Gabbard knows what she's talking about. Um, and so I think it'll be fine. I think what'll happen is yeah, some people will fall for the snow job. Trump will probably, hopefully, pull us completely out of the region. I know he wants to. There's things that tie his hands, unfortunately, but I know he definitely wants to do that, and that's what needs to happen. And
Yeah,
then Syria is a tragedy. There's no other way to put it. Whether you liked Assad, you didn't like Assad, that was a tragedy in and of itself, sure. But this is going to be one of the darkest days in the history of that great ancient land.
oh yeah.
Uh,
A lot of
it's
bad
not
things are
good.
going to happen. Keep in mind, there's a lot of
Yeah,
Christians there that Assad
lots
was
of Christian. It's
protecting.
one of the oldest Christian communities there is,
So was
contiguous.
Lebanon until the
Yes.
Palestinians came in.
Yep. It's interesting how our foreign policy keeps helping Christians get slaughtered.
I
Huh.
know, isn't that interesting?
That's
Um,
odd.
it is. But no, I agree. Let them murder each other. I mean, just leave the Middle East to its own devices. And honestly,
Not our
with Trump
problem.
saying drills, baby drill, the easiest way to deal with the Middle East is to buy them out of the market by
Yep, shut them out.
overselling and reducing costs on oil. Shut them out, right?
By the way, people forget, but I don't. He did that the first time. I remember in 2018, I think it was 2017, I think it was 2018. He the port to in the main port, which is basically like Louisiana, down there in Nolens, down that area, down on the boot, was backed up with multiple ship tankers just full of oil that they couldn't unload because there was nowhere to do with it, nothing to do with it. Because it was so cheap. It was cheaper for them. It made more money, more sense for them financially to keep it on the tanker than to process it. Because he had gotten the price so low. That's when it was like a dollar. Here it got down to like a dollar. I want to say $1.27 or $1.17 a gallon for gas. So crude had to be in the toilet at that point, right? Uh, he got the price so low through drilling and through other things that it was killing him. And OPEC was literally begging him to do something to help them get the price back up because they knew they couldn't move oil, especially not transatlantically, at this price.
Yeah.
The financials didn't make sense, which I
No,
say
just
he
yeah.
shouldn't have showed them mercy. He should have just pressed harder and put them right out of business.
Yeah, no,
We don't need
that's
OPEC.
what I want. Put
Yeah,
OPEC out of business, please.
yeah,
And now I know there are other countries that have joined OPEC that aren't in the Middle East. I know that.
yes,
But they can come and join better groups. How about that?
yep.
But let's just be done with the Middle East, please.
Be
Please.
done with
Right? And it's all T.E. Lawrence's fault. Fuck that guy.
it. Yeah, it's a lot of people's fault, but him too. You know what? Anybody involved, fuck them.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck them.
The whole situation is unnecessary. I've talked about this before. You can fact check me, anybody, if you'd like. I haven't looked into it to make sure this is completely accurate information, but I have no reason to doubt it. We have more oil in Colorado than Saudi Arabia does, period. And I think than all of that region of the Middle East does,
Yeah.
period.
Yeah.
And that's one state in the union. We know we've tapped Texas pretty hard, but there's still some oil there. There's obviously a ton of just an ungodly amount in Alaska. We don't even know. They make estimates every time. They don't know because one, the terrain's horrible. It's really hard to deal with up there, up in the frozen north. And two, every time they go for more, they find more. So I think there's an ungodly amount up there in that gigantic state. Because people, here's another thing: a lot of Americans themselves don't realize Alaska is gigantic. It is a humongous territory. It alone is a fifth of the entirety of the United States of America, just by itself. If it was down here, it would take up 1/5 of the landmass of the continent, or of our country rather. So Alaska's gigantic. We have no idea how many resources are up there. We couldn't possibly. It's too big.
Yeah.
So
But the point
there's
is,
no
we can
reason
shut them down.
that we need. Yeah, we can shut them down. Not only can we shut them down, Mexico could help. Mexico's got a ton of oil. Canada can help. They've got a ton of oil. There's no reason we have to do this transatlantic nonsense with them. This whole dance. There's no reason other than this is just the arrangements that have been set, and the people who make the arrangements are in their pocket.
Yeah, but
That's
old
it.
soy boy in chief up there in Canada, he ain't doing that. That Mexican murdering
Well, he might
cartel
not be in
lady, yeah,
chief
he might
much
be able to make
longer.
deal with her. Now, hopefully not. Although
Yeah,
he's there, once again, there's a block going on to keep
of
them from
course.
getting
Yep.
rid of him again, right? Canada needs to
Did you
get their
see what
shit
happened in
together.
Romania?
No, I didn't.
They just straight through the election court or whatever it's called, constitutional court, which I'm assuming is like their Supreme Court,
Right.
just threw the entire election out because the right wing guy won. Just threw it out. Said nope,
Uh,
not allowed.
well,
And now they're
Rome.
trying to throw that guy in jail just because he dared to
Yeah,
win an
Germany's
election.
trying to do something similar. Well, Romania is a little bit different of a bear than Canada or, like I just mentioned,
Yes.
Germany. Romania actually is doing really well. It is the number one up and coming country in the world. I know that's
Yep.
weird. People wouldn't think it was Romania,
It's
but
actually
there,
beautiful too.
yeah, it is gorgeous.
Yep.
But Romania's got their shit together. But the
They're
here's
trying
the
to.
no, they're really doing a good job. But here's the problem. The government in Romania is corrupt. And when and you're like, oh, they're all corrupt, Chester. You're right. But I mean like Mexico or Colombia level corruption. It's that. So them, superseding an election is not shocking. It's not the same thing as what's going on in Canada or Germany. It's different. Those things are communists trying to take over the country, which I guess maybe it's not that different.
Well, Romania also was, a communistly controlled
Yeah,
country. They had a whole revolution about it about 30, 40 years ago.
but I mean the corruption there in the government is more cartel-esque. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
it's
not
criminal,
it's not
criminal
political. It's
corruption.
criminal.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
it's slightly different. But yeah, no, they got to work it out. A lot of these countries need to work it out. Another country is coming up really well is Hungary under Orban, and Orban has done a
Yep.
wonderful job. And that's a guy that
Hungary's the
actually
blueprint.
likes his country. Shocking.
A crazy idea, right?
Yeah,
I know, nuts,
yeah.
a nuts idea. No, it's here's the problem with this hard power is it's not going to work. Unless you're willing to kill these people, the right wing has done an amazing job. Well, really, largely it's because the left wing's so insufferable. But the nationalists, the right wing, whatever you want to call them, have done an amazing job of recruiting young men. Whether it was by hook or by crook, they've done so. And that means we win. We just
Oh
win.
yeah, it's true.
Eventually, we
But
win.
what they're trying to do is pull everything into war, because that's what
Yes.
progressives,
That's how they
so-called,
stopped it in the 30s,
it's
right?
what
The
they
the
always do, pull it
nationalist,
into
the
war.
far right was ascended. Now, granted, that version was way too insane, but the idea is this particular because we like to talk about they like to blame nationalism for World War II. That's preposterous. It was internationalism that caused World War II. It was the empires refusing to let go of empire and their imperial influence that caused World War II, and nothing else that caused World War II. It was not a nationalist bent in Germany or Italy or Spain or wherever that caused that war. Those were internal battles they were fighting. It was the internationalists like the British who insisted that their influence be absolute, or otherwise they would start war. And
Now,
that's exactly what
I
happened.
have a question. Why would
Yeah.
you pose a conversation topic that you know that I can answer, but am not allowed to answer?
Well, because I like to torment you, Chester. It's fun for me. It brings
Jesus.
me joy. No, but my point is, it was the internationalist won. There's no doubt about it. They won World War II. Whether
Oh
obviously I
no,
was
they
for America. I
100%
think,
won. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, I think America got pulled into something, and the American people got completely duped, my grandfather included, and fought a war that absolutely had nothing to do with us
I'll be
because we
back in
were
a minute.
attacked by people who were probably also duped by these same people. But also, the reason why the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor is completely valid. I get that people like to, rose-colored glasses, jingoist stuff about America and World War II. And like I said, my grandfather fought, and I have great respect for the men who fought in that war. He was my favorite person to ever live. However, the Japanese justification for attacking Pearl Harbor was valid. Now, I'm not saying they should have done it. I wish they wouldn't have done it, but they did do it. And the fact that we cut off their oil supplies and all these other things when we had trade deals with them, we put embargoes on them and all these other stuff. Those are acts of war. America has gotten away with doing things that are acts of overt acts of war for since World War II at least, because we're just too powerful for anybody to really do anything about it. Um, but normally, if you put sanctions on a country, if you embargo a country, if you stop trade to a country without it being because of an emergency situation like a natural disaster or something, those are acts of war in every time throughout human history. No country's just going to take that. So Japan was justified. Whether it was the right decision, that's not what I'm arguing for. Obviously, nobody wants war. Nobody wants thousands of people to get killed, millions of people to get killed. But I can understand where they were coming from. Anyway, my point was the internationalists absolutely won that war. They've won since then. There's a reason why the EU was created. There's a reason why the United Nations was created. There's a reason why all of these international cabals were created, largely unelected bureaucracies that do nothing for the average person, that's for sure. They definitely don't advance human liberty, that's for sure. Uh, and then we propped up the Americans and the UN and all these other countries propped up the Soviet Union until, the early 90s, constantly giving them extra funding and funding and funding. We basically funded their war effort in World War II. That's something that doesn't get talked about enough, how much the Americans just gave them for their battles against the Germans. Uh, but my point is this bend towards nationalism, towards right wing ideology, an actual return of a right wing ideology to the West for the first time, at least since the 1930s, if not longer, is not going to be stopped unless they can sucker us into another world war to kill off all those people like they did last time. The real I won't say the word, but the real mass slaughter of World War II, besides the war itself, was after the war. There were many, 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 many Germans who were slaughtered simply for being affiliated with a political party. Whether they actually believed whole cloth in it or not, they had to go. And that sort of stuff happened all over the world. And that sort of stuff is pure, unfiltered, unadulterated, irredeemable evil. And that is why we're at where we are now. One of the reasons why neo Nazis and Hitlerians are able to muddy the waters and get people to sympathize with Hitler and things is because of all the lies surrounding that war and that man specifically. It makes people sympathetic to other aspects. And what we're seeing now is we're seeing a very similar force play out. I'm not saying that the modern right wing is Hitlerian. I don't think it is. I'm saying that the same forces are at play, and I do think that this time the right's going to win out. I think the global left, which is most of the global establishment, is very, very weak. I think Putin's correct that liberalism is dying, that it's basically dead. And that's probably a good thing because it's outlived its usefulness 100-fold. The moment that all of these Western countries sold out to central bankers, liberalism was already dead. You cannot have liberalism, you cannot have anything resembling capitalism, and have a central bank that is private and for profit, by the way, that controls your money supply. Your money supply is the lifeblood of your country. You don't have to like that, but it's the truth. Every country to ever exist, the money supply is its lifeblood. So if somebody, anybody, any singular person or entity has control over it with zero oversight or effective oversight from the people, like our Federal Reserve does in the United States, that's not good. There's no way to make that sound good. Even just saying it, there's no way to spin it that it's good. It's why we don't talk about it. It's why, up until very recently, if you even mentioned the Federal Reserve in a national or public setting, they would treat you like a conspiracy theorist, like you were talking nonsense words. Uh, because their best weapon is anonymity. Their best weapon is to stay behind the veil of bureaucracy and pretend like they're not doing utterly horrendous stuff with our money behind our backs, and sometimes right to our face. But they are. And I genuinely think that people vastly overestimate the power of the establishment, the power of the banksters, the power of all these factions that try to rule and basically do rule the world. And I also think people vastly overestimate their stability. Um, they the bad thing is, the dangerous thing is they do too. They vastly overestimate their own, and that's not good because that makes them very dangerous. They're not going to want to give up power willingly. They're going to fight tooth and nail. I mean, look at all the stuff they've done to Trump, for instance, and Trump's not even really the threat to them. That's the crazy thing. It's everybody who's going to come after him because of what they've done to him. Uh, they're going to be the ones that are the threat. Trump's the businessman. He's the olive branch, right? He's more like the Sulla or the Cincinnatus. He's just trying to right the ship. He's not really trying to cut your heads off. But that guy's coming. And that's what they're afraid of. So what they're trying to do now is invalidate They did all this stuff back in the 30s and 20s as well, all over Europe. This was happening, invalidating elections, trying to get political parties shut down, arresting the leaders of them. This is not a new tactic. This is as old as the sky, and we're seeing it again. And they're going to lose this time. I genuinely think they're going to lose this time, and the reason being is because they fucked up royal by giving us the internet. I don't think they realized they did, but kind of like how the British didn't realize how important the Pony Express was.
Oh yeah.
The enemy doesn't understand how important the internet is. They still don't. These people are old and decrepit. They still don't get it. They think you can censor the internet. You can't censor the internet. It's over. It's out there. The internet that most people use, sure, you can hide stuff away from that. Yeah, but it's still there. It's still there right beneath the surface. And I think that's where we're at now. I think the push to censor the internet has largely been defeated. It's still going to happen. They're still going to try. They're still going to do different things and come up with new tactics. But thanks to a guy named Elon Musk and others, we were able to battle back the demons. I know. I know I'm not alone in this. When Trump won that election so handedly, it was like taking a breath for the first time in a long time, because we know what was on the other side of a Kamala Harris victory, right? We know what it was. It was European censorship. That's what they were going to do. And now we have a chance to pull it back, to drag this carcass off of our shoulders that's been weighing us down. That is this establishment that's been going for about 100 years now, if not longer, depending on how far back you want to look. And it has to end. You know, I was saying this, Chester, where you gone. I don't think you heard this, but remember when Putin talked about the liberal world order is ending? It's dying. He is correct. And the reality is, it really isn't even liberal. That's what it calls itself, but that's not what it really is.
Yeah.
You can't have a central bank and call yourself a liberal capitalist country. That's not reality. That's nonsense words. That's like having a free market and then calling yourself communists.
Okay.
What? Is that how that works?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can, but you're very quiet.
Yeah. How about now?
Still a little quiet.
Huh.
Chester's having all kinds of technical issues.
That's okay. You can hear me now, right?
I can. I can.
Okay, good. Yeah, I'm back, by the way. I was earlier when I was having the mic troubles.
Yeah.
My subconscious kept yelling at me, you see, saying, "Hold the button, stupid. Don't press it. Hold it." It kept yelling at me, and finally I listened. I hate that my subconscious is smarter than me. That bastard.
Wait, you use push to talk?
No, I don't, but, there's
Oh.
some little weird thing going on with this, I just need to buy a new one. I've had this is the headset I got when I started the channel, dude.
Oh wow, it's lasted, huh? My headsets don't last like that.
Well, usually when you spend a little bit of money on something, it tends to last longer.
Hopefully, yeah, but not
Yeah.
always.
Not
Not
always,
always.
that's true. Not always. But anyway, yeah, this is all good and funny. The funny thing about the whole Syrian stuff is that it looks like Russia has sweet talked their way into keeping that Mediterranean base, by the way.
Curious that.
Yeah, curious that, isn't it? Yeah. But nevertheless, let's switch gears, shall we? So let me get over here and let's bring this up. And a couple little bit of news stuff. Mainly we'll be talking about Christmas movies, I think. Because keep in mind I'm going to be off for 3 weeks after this, so everybody, have a good Christmas and holiday.
Yep.
Uh, you know. But let's go
You
ahead
will
and
be
get
here
into this.
Tuesday though, right? You'll be here Tuesday?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, we'll do one more for the year.
This
Closing
week.
it out.
This is my last week.
Yeah.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and bring this up. So go ahead.
Here we go. Here we go. Hang on, Chester. I'm not looking at it because I'm unprepared. I'm a hack. Hang on. Here we go. It's loading. There it goes.
There it is.
Craven bombing at box office with 11 million. Ooh. E. Ah. Sony Marvel reboot in the works. Matt's got questions. Is that what's happening? Mr. McGloin, which is a
Yeah,
very unfortunate name.
it,
McGloin?
it
Ooh.
is. It's my gloin.
Yeah.
It's mine.
Yeah. Here we go.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this I've heard what's funny is I've actually heard it's not a bad movie. It's just nobody asked for it.
Nobody asked for
Nobody's
it, and
asking
of
for this.
course, all your built-in audience, you took a bad guy. I mean, a really bad guy, and you made
Yeah,
him a good guy. An anti-hero, of course, is what they do with everything. You have to make all the villains good guys, and you have to make the good guys questionable, right?
right.
That's what they've been doing. And you take a guy that's full on bastard, right? And of course, he's the good guy. I mean, yeah, he kills people, but he's basically the Punisher. That's what they did. They made the Punisher, but they put fur on him.
Yep,
Yeah, yeah,
yep.
yeah, yeah.
Fur Punisher. He's the
Fur Punisher.
Punisher.
The furniture. I would have been funnier.
He's the furniture. Wait a minute.
But anyway, don't care about the article because are you surprised?
No, no,
Yeah.
nobody should be surprised. And it's a shame. I really like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I like him. I think he's a good dude. He's a good actor. He's got the it factor, but he cannot succeed for his life. It's crazy to watch.
Yeah, but I mean, even the kind of mainstream, like everything critics, those types that I
Yeah.
checked on this, even they were like, "Yeah, don't watch this movie. It's a waste of your time. It's
Yeah.
just,
It's a movie
it's
that
not
should not
interesting.
exist.
The story's not well put together. It's just clunky junk." Is what the critics are saying. Now, maybe it has a handsome dude in it with some fair action scenes, although they were actually banging on the action scenes. It's just not anything anyone wanted. Your built-in audience you told to go away, so we did, and you didn't bother to make a good movie. Now, to be fair, everyone still talks about how bad Morbius was, and they love trashing Morbius. And I understand the lead actor in that is an absolute douchebag. I get that
Mhm.
because he is. But I actually kind of like that movie.
Yeah, I know. You've said. I believe you. I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I watched the only scene I've seen from it is the Matt Smith dancing around without his shirt on or whatever it is scene.
Which
That's it.
is that one scene seems about what's got everybody going off. But then
Yeah.
again, they did build it up fairly well that this guy has never actually took been able to take a step in his life. He's been wheelchair bound and having to use crutches and stuff like that. He's a mess. He's a mess. He's never been able to stand up and dance in his life. And of course, Morbius's character had the same problem. I mean, Leto's character had the same problem. They just responded to it in different ways.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but overall, that movie is a good throwback to 60s sci-fi, actually. But nevertheless, so this might be a fine movie in the end, although the critics do not like it. And I don't mean the woke ones. I don't pay attention to those idiots. I'm just talking about mainstream critics don't like this movie. But it's once again, you have amazingly built-in stories. I mean, I don't understand why I have to keep explaining this, but all you had to do was introduce Craven in a couple movies in the background somewhere, or some little cameo scene here or
Mm-hmm.
there, showing that he's around. Oh, who is that character? The Thanos thing, right?
Yep.
Um, and then drop Craven's Last Hunt.
Yep.
That's all you had to do. It's
That's
already
it.
built in. One is considered one of, if not the best Spider-Man story of all time. All
Yep.
you had to do was follow the script, dude.
Yep. Laid it out for you. Couldn't have been easier. Couldn't be easier.
And it's
And these
even,
people still
yeah,
didn't.
and it's even in a situation that you're in. It's timely to do because
Right.
in that story, by that time, Peter's older. He's not a kid anymore. He and Mary Jane, I don't think were married yet, but they were going to be. He's a older. He's an experienced hero. He's a man.
Mm-hmm.
When that story takes place, you've done that. You've done that with what's the little lame soy boy that's Spider-Man now? What's his name?
Tom Holland.
Oh yeah, that guy. Um, so they've already established that they've grown him up. It's perfect timing for Craven, really. It really would have been great. But I mean, how could you screw this up this bad?
I don't know. It's impressive. It is impressive.
But
And it's one of those things we've been talking about for a long time. What makes me sad about this isn't that it exists, it's that I know because it exists, I will probably never get that. I will probably never get Last Hunt. I will probably never get
yeah,
a
what a
proper
shame.
symbiote saga. I will probably never get a proper Venom. And that is heartbreaking because those, for me, that's the best age of Spider-Man. That run.
Yeah, you know
That
what
whole
they,
run is
y-
just great.
you know what they could have done if they were if they were smart, is broken off Venom in one of these movies, have him get on to somebody else because Eddie Brock is not Eddie Brock in the movies, right? But have him get on someone who is less, morally stable, like Eddie,
Right.
right? And have him going around enjoying eating people and being the villain that Venom is. And
Yep.
then in the Craven's Last Hunt, replace Vermin with the Venom character, right?
Right.
It effectively being the same things going on with Venom's eating people. Not Venom, Vermin is eating people. You could have had him play that arc, and you would have tied your little universe nice up with a bow. What do you think, Bob?
It's dog shit.
Thank you, Bob.
Yeah, the movie's dog shit. I mean, any idea is better than what they did. My friend went and saw it. I watched the first 8 minutes of it. The action's okay. He said that like there's a reason why they dropped the first 8 minutes. He said after the first 8 minutes, the movie is terrible.
Yeah, no, the critics hated it.
Yeah, and every character is just like a bastardized, weak version. Like Calypso, like they've got Calypso in the movie, and she would have been, like that's the perfect way to do this thing because she's evil. She's a friggin' witch doctor, you know.
Oh, she's Che Guevara in female form.
Yeah, and
She's
but
bad,
then
dude.
she like it's like this semi romantic thing. She saves it's fucking dumb.
Yeah, no, she's psychotic murderer, Calypso.
Yeah,
right? But it's
Yeah,
also
and like
got
she
his
actually
brother.
kind of ends up being worse than him.
Well, of course, because they're making him the hero. They also have his brother Chameleon in it, right?
Yeah, yeah. You
Um,
see at the end when he gets his shape shifting
Oh
powers
man,
at the end of the
Chameleon.
movie.
oh,
I
does
like
he?
Yeah, well,
Chameleon.
they made them actually brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they are
Um,
brothers in the comic.
kind of in the comic they kind of sort of are.
Well, you know what I mean.
Uh,
They
yeah,
also dropped Mesmero, and they've also
yep,
got Rhino in it. What the hell are you
yeah.
doing?
Well, they got to give him a physical opponent because they make him like this invincible friggin' yeah. To turn him into a superhero is just stupid.
You
It
guys want to
is.
hear the worst part about all of this? Apparently, I don't know if it's true, but I've heard. Apparently, this whole time, Marvel would have had no problem with them using Spider-Man in any of
No, they
these movies.
didn't. No,
So
what
they just
happened was
chose
is
not to.
Patty. What's her name? The lady that was in charge. Patty Jenkins, I think her
Yeah,
name
that.
is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
the Dyke.
She wanted the whole thing was we got to create a universe. We've got to copy Marvel. Everything has to be a universe. We've got Spider-Man. We've got the license to Spider-Man. We can take all of his characters and we can create the Avengers out of his characters. They made a bunch. They'll all be anti-heroes, and it's just like you don't understand. Just like a hero is defined by his villains, the villains are defined by the hero.
Yeah,
Without Spider-Man, none of this shit works.
right. No, and
Especially
yeah,
Venom. Doesn't even
yeah.
make sense.
No, they missed the plot on Venom 100%.
Yeah,
I mean, because having Hardy play
Eddie Brock.
Eddie Brock, thank you, is not a problem. He's a good actor. He would have done what you
Yeah.
wanted him to do. But Eddie Brock is a bitter, angry guy who thinks the world hasn't given him what he deserves. Now,
He's the classic. He's he's literally modern day victimhood.
yeah, he's a narcissist, is what Eddie is, and that's why Venom was so bad when he was being warned by Eddie, Eddie was being run by him.
Because they both got hurt by Spider-Man and they blamed him.
That's right. But then again, Venom is so desperate to get back to Spider-Man the whole time he wants to be back with Peter, right?
Yeah,
Um,
the whole reason the symbiote wanted him was because he's a hero.
Right. But then again, these idiots over at Sony translated that into homosexual relationship.
Yeah, that was pretty freaking stupid.
I mean, what kind of brainlets are running these companies, dude?
Very small ones apparently.
Yeah.
Because
A chick who got friggin' embarrassed on stage by Kevin Feige.
Yeah.
When she tried to like insinuate that like, oh yeah, we're a part of the MCU, and he's like, no, you're not.
as big as Venom as a character is, the real Venom, not this nonsense.
Right.
As big as Spider-Man obviously is, and that run that we're talking about here, because this all feeds together. You go Craven right into the Venom stuff.
Right. Oh, sure. Yeah.
Um,
Well,
as
Secret
big as
Wars,
that is,
Craven's Last Hunt, Venom,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
as big as that is, you're telling me, out of all the hundreds of millions of people who have either heard of it, watched it, or read it in different forms, right? Not a single one of them could make those movies. There's not
Yeah.
one. Not one
they
that's a
could.
filmmaker.
They
This is what
could,
I'm
but
saying. This is
she did.
intentional.
She is the was it the Temu version of Kathleen Kennedy. She's not a creative, but she desperately wants to be, and she's the one who's like basically like telling them, we're not gonna. Yeah, we got all the access to all these great stories. We can do all this cool stuff. We're not going to do that until the big movie. So we have to build the universe first, and we got to make all these guys heroes or anti-heroes because even though Spider-Man has people within his freaking lexicon who are heroes, can't use them.
Yeah, and Morbius being one of them.
Yeah, Morbius is the only one who really kind of sort of works as an anti-hero right out the gate.
Because he is. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, they fought initially, but it's because Spider-Man didn't understand who he was.
Right.
But yeah, no, you're 100% right. But keep in mind when it comes to Kathleen Kennedy, I do believe that Spielberg said, "Well, she got the coffee and she kind of sucked at that." I think that was a
Yeah,
double entendre.
it was Lucas, like basically like, oh, you guys are gonna give me $5 billion? Oh yeah, she's great.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
maybe.
and later he's like, holy shit, what the fuck did I do?
She might be like Kamala, man. Maybe she can suck the chrome off trailer hitch. I mean, really,
I mean, it would make a
it's-
lot more sense. It would make a lot more sense
It would.
because right now it
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
Because
I've-
the
Not a
only
bit.
the first Venom film did decent, but I mean, literally the next film made $350 million less.
yeah.
You know, and
it's a running problem.
they all made like small. But the next two made small, like profits, but not a single movie outside of the animated Into the Spider-Verse movies have done well.
I wanted
which
to
is
give a personal
crazy.
anecdote, but I think you two would be upset with me.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I was talking about chrome off a trailer hitch anecdote.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, whatever.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh
Dude,
radio.
you're not gonna offend me. You can't
Praise
hurt my
God
feelings.
for those girls is all I got to say.
Hey man, they got a lot of us through high school.
Uh-huh.
Listen, it's the
Uh-huh.
greatest thing in the world.
It
I don't know who
is.
invented it, but they need a medal.
Yes, those girls need something. Anyway, but yeah, this is just more nonsense, wasting money. A lot of wasted money. But then
Lots of
again,
it.
we know something's going on with the money. We know something is because these movies don't cost that much to make. They're moving money around, just like the Democratic Party suddenly lost $1 billion in how long? What was that? Was less
Like
than 60
6
days?
months.
Less than 100 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
something
was
like that.
really-
Yeah, it was very
Which
short
is
period.
insane. An
Yeah,
insane amount of money.
Lost that money, went $20 million in debt.
And yeah, they screwed up their accounting, didn't they? Oops, we gave that funder too much money, or that politician too much money. Well, let's move on to another idiot.
Let's do it. Another idiot. Oh no, everybody's favorite. Sydney Sweeney punches back at online trolls. Oh,
Okay,
boy, Sydney.
now, first of all, it's sad to me that we've got to such a point that this girl is considered the hottie. I mean, she's pretty normal looking. In her face,
she's got the heavies. So
she does, but they're sloppy heavies.
well, what am I to tell you, dude?
Well, fair.
Compared to the friggin' bull dykes they've been pushing.
I know
Compared to
that,
Zendaya,
and that
I'll
gives
take
her,
her.
so she's lucky, right? Because she's
Yeah.
gaining off of the nonsense because she's not
Yeah.
what the the absolute bombshells that we used to deal with. However, this story here is dealing with Christy Martin biopic. Now, Christy Martin, just so you guys know, I'm going to show you how dumb this is. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
Christy Martin, you see here on the left, she was I think that's her. Is it? Well, anyway, she was a boxer back in like the 90s, early aughts, and she could actually box. I mean, literally. You watch her, she had form. It's still a chick boxing, but still, but she had, you remember when Ronda Rousey came out? You remember? And everyone was like, oh my God, she's so badass. She kicked my ass. No, she wouldn't. I heard people saying that for years, like a year, I guess. It's going on Ronda Rousey. I'm like, Jesus.
Oh, dude, I'm an MMA guy, and literally after like her third or fourth title fight, I was like, if she doesn't learn how to friggin' strike, she's gonna get killed.
Dude, and I went and watched one fight of hers, and it was the one she got beat. It was just by chance, right? And I sit here, and all I saw was this girl that runs forward, just frickin' swinging wildly. She had zero technique.
Her thing was she's a good grappler. She is a good grappler.
Oh, well, maybe. Yeah.
Well, her thing was she would always charge in, and she would go for the takedown, and if she got in, when she got you down to the ground, then she was in her element. But the minute she got in there with an elite striker, she got lit up.
Yeah, because she has no form at all. She's literally just throwing wildly. She has no footwork at all. And people don't seem to understand when it comes to fighting, it's all about the feet, baby. It's not about your hands. Feet and speed.
It's ring awareness.
Yeah.
And it's it's the same thing when they were talking about her. Like, oh man, she should fight Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather would freaking surgically.
Insane?
He would dissect her face.
He would. She wouldn't even. She wouldn't last that long anyway.
Grown
But
men who are some of the best to ever do it can barely land a hit on him. That's how
Yeah.
good his defense is.
His
And it's
defense
annoying.
in boxing is legendary.
he is.
It's
That's what he's
insane.
famous for.
Yeah.
But anyway, so you had that, and I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. This girl doesn't know how to fight at all. And you got all these soy boys saying she'd kick my ass. No, she wouldn't, dude.
Well, she probably some fat dude, eating Cheetos on the freaking couch. She probably would.
No, she wouldn't because she wouldn't. But she has no power.
Well,
She has no power.
Well, I don't know, man. She might not be able to double leg takedown a guy weighing 350 pounds.
Right, and it doesn't. That's not the point. I'm not against Ronda.
I
She
know.
seems like a pretty nice lady, actually. Right? I don't have any
She's a
problem with
bitch.
Ronda Rousey. Oh, okay, maybe not. There
Nah,
we go.
she's a narcissistic bitch. So
All right, fine. But whatever. I don't care about her. My point is, this girl could box, this
Yeah.
Christy Martin. But I still didn't give a shit because I'm, male. It has nothing to do with her being a woman and can't box. That's not the point. The point is, I have no interest in watching women in blood sport. I don't want to watch women bloody themselves. I have no interest in this whatsoever. You could be the best, most awesome thing in history. Congratulations. I don't care. You're not getting my attention because I don't want to see women in that situation because my natural inclination is to protect women, not to watch them get bloodied. Nevertheless, which, the soy boys unite, I guess. Assemble! But here's the thing. Now, Sweeney Todd, yeah, let's go with that. Sydney Sweeney here is doing the biopic of this lady. All right, first of all, hardly anyone knows who this lady is.
Yeah.
For one. Two, no one gives a shit. Why are you wasting your time? Right? Only thing people care about you is your tatas, little girl. And now
Okay.
she's like, look at me, look at my guns. I'm getting all muscular. You ain't got no muscles at all. What the hell are you talking about? Look at this.
but
What
dude,
the hell are you talking about guns?
Christy Martin is important, Chester. She was the first female boxer elected to the Boxing Hall of Fame back in
Yeah, well,
2016
She
because she
can
was
box, though.
because she was a lesbian.
Whatever it was, I did see her once because there was a match and they had her on and I watched it. She can
Yeah.
box, dude. She actually had
Oh, yeah.
skill. She did have skill. But all that aside, but it's just what are you on about? I don't even work out and my arms are 3 times the size of yours, little girl. What are you talking about? Guns? Now I ain't no Hulk Hogan, but then again, not everybody can have the pythons.
Well,
Let's be fair.
she has to be validated though, Chester.
Yeah. But here's another problem that this little Sweeney Todd girl has. Your claim to fame is your sloppy tits. All right, that's your thing. Now she was in
Sloppy.
some movie as a kid. I remember her in a movie as a kid. But she got sloppy tits. These are the butter tits is what I call them. Because you take that bra off, they just kind of fall all over the place.
They're a
However,
mess, is what you're saying.
yeah, they're a mess. But here's the thing: you getting in shape to do a role is going to cut your breast size like crazy. What are you doing,
There's good chance.
dumbass?
Good chance, and they may not come back either.
And they probably won't. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, okay, fine. Yeah, this is her in
Now,
makeup.
I'll give her.
Okay.
I'll say this for her. She does need to keep keep working, obviously, so that helps. But she's at like the peak of her popularity. She shouldn't be wanting for roles. I'm sure they're throwing roles at her left and right currently. So I don't know. It just seems like I think I'm agreeing with you here. I just don't see the benefit to her because this is going to be one of those movies that does nothing. This ain't going to make any money, right?
Well, someone talked
it's
her
just
into
not.
it and said, "You got to do something. It's not about the male gaze. You're a girl. Go, girl." I'm sure
Uh-huh.
that's what happened.
No.
Well,
Sloppy tits
listen,
deserve love
sweetheart.
too, Booster. I'm happy for you, Booster. I'm a little
Listen,
bit more
sweetheart,
discerning.
I hate to be the one to tell you,
Yeah.
but your sex appeal is the only thing that people care about.
Yeah, I mean for her.
I
mean,
know it's mean. It's mean.
well, it's not
but it's the truth.
mean. It's
And
her.
someone should. Well, it is mean to these girls because
It's
they
her
can't take any
lane,
criticism.
though, dude. There are
I
ladies who
know.
are
I'm
great
telling her
actresses.
she needs to get in her lane and just stay there, and maybe she could become a great actress one day when she, does it. and puts the work in.
Yeah, but she's not
But
very pretty though, dude. It's her problem.
she's one of these she has a very short half-life. And the more roles like this that she does isn't going to help. I mean, we're talking, you just mentioned great actresses. In the last 10 years, the great actresses have all disappeared.
Yeah,
Meaning they're just not around. The
we're
ones
not
that we
seeing much
knew
of
for
them. Yeah,
years. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
I would
because
too. I would too, Booster, but I'm lonely.
and it's because the market has decided that they're either too old, or the executives have decided that they don't want to deal with their BS. One or the other is the truth. So Miss Sweeney, you are in the peak of your career. You're probably not getting any bigger than this. You're just not.
No, she's not.
So you
Yeah.
shouldn't be taking roles that diminish the one thing that you bring that everybody celebrates you for, which is your sex appeal. Because it's not even that she's necessarily the sexy, beautiful, perfect thing. She's not compared to some of the girls from, 15, 20 years ago.
No,
But
no,
compared to
she-
the ones now, she's, amazing.
Yeah, that
She at
that
least
was
has
my
a female
point,
figure.
and
She
but
has
she
a
had
body.
she had an opportunity,
Yeah.
but she's spoiling it because she listened to some idiots. Because this is not going to help her in any way. She's going to lose what she had, and no one's going to watch this damn movie. No one's going to watch it. Who gives a shit about this? Nobody cares. Nobody, even
Yep.
the lesbians don't care. I said it.
Yep.
Anyway,
It's
and
true.
I don't know why the chat is defending sloppy tits. Knock it off. Okay. What you want is a girl who's fit and tight like a toiga, and is big breasted. That's what you want,
See,
buddy. Trust
Chester,
me.
there's got to be some jiggle in some places.
Hey, now a little bit here or there is fine, but if you
That's
got a girl who's taunt and she's big
Yeah, it's
breasted,
great.
dude, all day.
It's great. It's great.
It
Not
is
gonna
great.
lie. But me personally, since apparently we're into this conversation,
Mhm,
me
mhm.
personally, I like to ride the wave a little bit. I'm not saying I gotta be fat.
Eh.
Just when it comes to that, I like my women very similarly, not quite as extreme, but very similarly like black men
Black
like
like
their
your
women.
coffee?
Yeah, I
Okay.
like the big chest and the big booty. I got to have the booty. I'm a big fan of the booty. So as long as I got some booty, I'm in. This is
Yeah,
one of the
well,
reasons
now
why Miss Sweeney doesn't excite me, because she's okay.
let me quantify this though. Hold on a
No,
second.
I'm not talking.
No,
I know exactly what he's about to bring up.
no, hold on a second. Now, when we talk about the Boutte, which is a great movie, by the way, if you got that reference, you should go watch it immediately. But when we're talking about that, do you mean like an athletic, strong, buttock,
I can. Yeah, it
or you
depends.
talk about that sloppy fat shit?
No, you don't want sloppy and cellulite.
No, I don't want
no,
that. I don't like
no,
that.
no,
I don't. I like
no,
that
no, no, no. You want it. What you want is when it bends out, when they bend over, not all the way, just that little bend, and they get that nice apple push out. That's what you're looking for.
Yep.
You want to get on
I
you.
agree. I agree.
Yeah. And then
Are
you
you
can
going
give
to
it the
defend the sloppy ass too, Bob?
No, you want to get on you, man. You want it that that nice heart shaped ass.
Yeah.
No. I like a taunt, strong muscle.
You like a flat butt, Chester? Is that
No,
what
I
you're telling
don't.
me?
No, I like a muscled ass. No, I like fit girls. That's my thing.
You like bodybuilder ass. Okay.
Hey man, I don't mind those. There's
Well,
a level where the
that
girls.
explains a lot.
Well, no, there's a level the girls go too far. The bodybuilding
Oh, yeah.
girls. There's a
Yeah.
point that's like, oh yeah, okay, and then there's a point, oh no, right? It's a thin line for them, unfortunately. But no, I find, for instance, pole vaulting ladies to be quite attractive.
He likes them
Okay.
thin. He likes
Yep.
them long and thin.
Yep.
Is what he's saying to me.
Gymnasts can get a little bit out of control. The gymnast, a little bit out of control.
Nah.
Well,
I like a
especially
booty.
the
I like
size.
a booty with my sweater meat. So
All right, fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. You
Yeah.
guys are wrong, but that's all right.
With
No,
the
but
wrong
I'm
opinion.
joking, of course. But this sloppy ass, I mean sloppy asses, I don't get the appeal. It's so bad that these brainlets are out there injecting dead human fat into their ass that literally stinks. It makes them stinks. You can't shower it off. You injected it in your ass, right? How does we get to this point, dude? That is not attractive. It's not attractive. What's that that Kardashian girl? What's that that fat ass? What's her name?
Kim?
Oh, Kim.
Kim. I mean,
Kardashian?
Jesus.
Oh,
Um,
dude, without the Photoshop and the airbrushing, she looks like she's wearing a bag of shit on her.
she does. Now,
Well,
all right. Now,
she is.
Bob is going to give us demonstrations. I appreciate Bob. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, yeah, like this is this is a nice
nice.
attractive.
Yeah, I
It's
like
a
it.
nice set of sweater meat right
Yeah,
here.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well,
Continue.
show it to me. I'm just saying, you know.
I'm sharing. I'm waiting
she's
for
got,
the.
she
this is
she
your
got a little-
montage
she-
point, Bob. Go ahead.
yeah, she got a ghetto onion on her too. So like I said, I like a little bit of like a little bit of booty with my sweater meat.
Yeah, I mean, this is fine. Do I have other examples?
No, I just pulled this one up.
Oh, damn it.
Well, I didn't think you were gonna put it on air, man. I was just like, here, you know, there you go. There's some, you know, there's a typically they would have flat asses. So I said, there you go. There's your sweater meat with your flat ass.
And she's going Monet as well, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of art appreciation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know about the glasses. Get rid of the glasses.
Yeah, she doesn't normally wear that. This is a professional wrestler. This is Mina Shirakawa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't really think she's doing much wrestling, but all right.
Oh, she does.
No. Here's the thing, though. The difference is she knows it. She walks out and she shakes her tits.
Yeah,
She's
she knows what she's doing.
good girl.
She knows what she's selling.
Yep.
Good
She knows what she's selling.
girl.
Yeah. This lady here absolutely knows her market, and she plays to it. Unlike Miss
Yep.
Sweeney, which is my point. Don't cross your streams here, Sydney. You got a market. You can run up into. You can make millions and millions of dollars if you just run on that lane. Don't
Yep.
change lanes.
Yep.
You're gonna hurt yourself here.
Mhm.
But she's not listening, and
Yep.
she's gonna have to feel.
Yeah, literally like all the other Hollywood girls that couldn't act do. Just literally lean into the camera. Literally.
Yes. Do your deal. Do the thing that people like. And look, Schwarzenegger made an entire career out of being jacked and saying one line.
Yeah. No, he did.
Made millions.
He did.
Millions and millions of dollars doing
Yeah,
this.
and became
Stallone
beloved.
was a much better actor and a much better writer and a better director and better at the whole job
The whole
of Hollywood. He
the
did
whole
all of it
deal.
better.
Yeah.
But yet Schwarzenegger was bigger because he was jacked and could say one line that people were waiting for in every movie. Look at Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise plays basically the same character in every movie, and he runs. That's it. That's his
good at it.
shtick.
He's good.
And he's real good at it. It works. It makes him money.
Yeah.
This is my point, Miss Sweeney. You have a shtick. Stick to your shtick. Don't try to branch out.
Stay in your
until
lane.
You absolutely have to. Yeah, get in that lane and run. Nobody's with you right now. The only reason she's so popular, like we were saying, is because nobody's with her right now. Nobody's even close. She's the only one in this lane running. So run.
Yeah.
Run, Forrest, run.
Yeah. Go ahead, Bob.
No, I agree.
Yeah. No, 100%. I just thought it was funny because literally, getting in shape and working out and getting fit is literally going to reduce your breasts because they do, right? And you know it because hers are so sloppy. It's just water weight, right?
Yeah.
And that's going to cut. But the thing also is she thinks she's got guns. She thinks, look at my muscles, baby. This, man, these are not muscles.
No, this is not what you're looking for.
It's not. And
Not what you're
honestly,
looking
you don't want to do that anyway, because Christy
No.
Martin wasn't. Christy Martin was actually. And let me go show you a picture of Christy. Let me see if I can find it here real quick.
There was one up there. If you scroll up further, pretty sure.
I don't know if I saw Christy here. But anyway, let me just go. Let me just go find it here. Okay.
Yeah, I've seen what she looks like a foot. So
Yeah, here we go. So you look at her.
Like a
She's
foot.
not muscular. Look at her. She's not muscular at all. Matter of fact, this is the fight I saw where she got bloodied up. She won though, and she had the pink on. Where's she? Don't got no muscle. What do you want about, girl? There ain't no muscle here. Look at it. This is just a girl who was taught probably by daddy how to box. And I've seen her box. She does have actual form. She has actual form.
Definitely
But
looks a lot better with that haircut than than that other nonsense.
well,
Go
yeah,
down a
well,
little
well,
bit.
whatever, and then say she's a boxer. What do you want? But my point is, she's not. She ain't got no muscles, right?
No.
In what you're talking about, and honestly, she's not a very attractive person. Which it doesn't matter. She's a boxer. Who gives a
She
shit?
has a nice smile,
Yeah.
Chester. Gee, you're so critical.
Uh
She's not smiling there.
huh. If she got a buzz cut, that's a dude. All right.
I mean, yeah, it looks like an accountant, but listen,
No,
can't have
that's a
everything.
dude. Look at her jawline, dude. That's a dude. That's a dude. There's probably early transgender. I said it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Hey, she does like the ladies.
She does. She does. But then again, there's been accusations about this transgendering or, of course, drag queening going way back, dude.
Oh
Way
yeah.
back in Hollywood. I mean, back in the old black and white days, there's a lot of accusations of singers, particularly, being that have been castrated when they were kids, and being dressed up as girls. You'd be shocked how long this
So
shit's been going on.
there's
Castrellas.
a conspiracy theory that that Michael Jackson's father did that to him. He had him chemically castrated.
Maybe. Who knows, right? Because clearly
Yeah.
there was a problem with his voice. He didn't grow up.
Yeah, and clearly clearly none of them kids came from him because you gonna tell me you put your
Dude, they're white kids. They don't look anything
yeah,
like
they're all white.
They're
So,
clearly
like,
not him. And of course, no, don't go tell Mike Tyson that he was castrated. He might get upset with you.
He might not like it.
He might not like him. Yeah. Yeah. Although you never know, he'll do whatever for money, even stand up there and do nothing for a few rounds. Let some idiot
Literally
try.
hold punches.
Yeah,
well,
literally hold on.
anybody who looked at the rules for that fight knew from the start that it was that's what was going to happen.
Yeah, but
Because they literally they put stipulations. They're saying that if he knocks him out in the first 2 rounds, he doesn't get most of his money.
yeah, but I mean, the thing with it though is that Mike basically just sat there, right?
Yeah.
And let him go ahead, show him what you got, right? Is what he did. And Jake Paul ain't got shit, dude.
I don't know.
It's like when you got like a 12-year-old boy and you're play boxing with him and you just let him take his little shots.
Yeah, but
because he's not going to be able to hit anything most likely anyway.
well, he
unless
had
he's a
no
monster
power.
himself.
It was
Yeah.
nothing, dude. It was like, wow, dude. I mean, I just couldn't believe it because obviously Mike wasn't going because the first round or two, Mike was playing a little bit. He wasn't going full tilt, but he
Yeah.
was playing a little bit, and they just stood there and said, "All right, kid, go ahead. Here's your moment." And Jake couldn't do nothing. I was
Make sure the
so
check
shocked.
Make
The
sure
one, the
check
one,
clears.
the one shot that Tyson did throw that landed, that then Jake gave him that signal. Was like, dude, don't do that.
Right. Yeah, that's true. He backed right up. But
He was
I
like,
mean,
hey man.
but because I'd never seen Jake Paul fight before, and I assumed, well, he's got
I
to this
have.
point, he must be able to at least fight. Dude, he's got nothing, man.
Put it this way, he would beat me, okay? Because I don't know how to box. I can't. I can street fight, but I don't know how to box. So
Maybe.
he beat me, but I mean, yeah, I mean it was very clear. Like literally, when you looked at the stipulations they put in there, I was like, there's no way that he's gonna. And every fight's stacked like this, so.
Yeah,
So
and it's
Mike's like,
unfortunate.
I want that $30 million, man. So you know what? I'll go out there and I'll let you like pretend to kick my ass.
Yeah, no, I'm not mad at Mike. I'm not mad at Mike. I'm just surprised by Jake because the thing is, if Mike Tyson's going to stand in front of me and let me take shots, I'm going to piss him off, and then I'm going to be unconscious. But he's gonna know that he's gonna remember me for about 7.5 minutes. You see, and Jake couldn't even do that.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, look at that. One Sheik said he would give Tyson $100 million if he fought him for real.
For real? Jesus.
Yeah,
These people are dumb.
well, see that them Arab Sheiks got so much money they're bored.
I guess they're bored, but that's suicide. But yeah, that was a shame. It was a shame. I'm not mad at Mike for taking the money. I mean, it is what it is. It's just an exhibition fight anyway. I just
Yeah.
couldn't believe how poor a boxer Jake Paul was.
Oh, actually, no. That he it was one of the royal family. He offered him 700 million.
700 million. Jesus.
Yep.
Mike must be flush. Because I'd be over in Saudi Arabia. Anyway, actually, I probably wouldn't be. I'm belligerent. Let's move on because that's stupid. All right, so now I got something special for you.
Uh-oh.
We had the gaming
Special, like-
awards, of
Oh,
course,
okay.
and the 10th annual. And I've seen these things, and it's a big joke. And of course, it is a big joke. All the games that won stuff are things that no one even played. Of course, like the Oscars, no one watches those movies, right? It's all about virtue signaling and progressive politics and stuff. So whatever, it is what it is. Now there are some game trailer announcements, which is the main reason people even watch it. That it pissed the gaming world off, and fair enough because it's bullshit. The AAA companies are dead; they're dead, right?
Yeah.
Screw them. But you know what? And everyone's like, "Oh, it sucked. Everything sucks. It all sucks." And it's like, all right, well, the AAA stuff does suck. I agree with you, but you clearly weren't paying attention because, dude, there is some badass announcements.
Oh, there were some good ones. Like
Yeah,
I
baby.
watched most of this. I watched Asmongold react to it.
Yeah,
And,
sure. Asmongold, I watch him too.
There were some cool ones that were announced. I mean, obviously there was some cringy shit, but
It was, but I thought we'd go through. This isn't all of them, but dude, take a look at some of the shit that's coming, man. And now, of course, this
that's
Naughty
the one that
Dog
pissed everyone
thing,
off.
it's
Yeah.
play a dyke. All right, fine, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Night Rain, I didn't think it looked very good, but I didn't play the.
It's for the type of game that it is. People have been asking for like a multiplayer Elden Ring
Right.
for a while, and that's what this is.
Yeah, and they're happy, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Demon's Souls, I think, was the first one, right?
Yeah. It's a Demon Souls kind of play.
Right.
The
Well,
fact
I
that this already exists from after their audience was like, "Hey, we'd like to play together," and From's like, "All right," and Bethesda, who used
Oh,
to be
fuck
anyway, they
Bethesda,
probably
dude.
still are a much bigger company, at least on paper, still hasn't gotten it in their head that people would like to play Skyrim or a game like Skyrim in a multiplayer setting. To this day, they refuse to even entertain
Yeah.
such
Now,
a subject.
Tom Howard is
Tom.
literally from the Lollipop Guild, dude.
Howard.
Anyway, but like I played the very, very first one, Demon Souls, I think it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't like the aesthetic. I liked the challenge though. It was a tough game, which was good.
Yeah.
But I didn't play. My son did. He played Blood something. What was that other one?
Blood Rain.
Yeah. Is that what it was called?
That was cool. That was a
Yeah,
good one.
He liked that one. He's played these things, so I'm happy for these guys. I haven't played these things, but I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
People are upset about Siri being the main
Well,
one, even though they told you years ago that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
It's the problem I have with it isn't that Ciri is the character, because they were always building towards that. It's the fact that she's a Witcher and women aren't supposed to be capable of being Witchers.
Right.
Correct.
She's not supposed to be a Witcher, and of course they did uglify her to a point. Fair enough.
This is supposed to be 15 years later, so she's been beat to shit.
Yeah, maybe. But I understand the anger, and it's just them trying to, because everyone wants Geralt. But the thing is, I
Right.
never really, really cared about Witcher from the beginning, because all this is some Soviet censor asshole who got the Elric books in, read them, and decided, I'll steal this and sell it for myself. And that's what he did.
Yeah.
It's a
like
complete
everything.
100% ripoff of Elric. So fuck off.
Chester, that sounds like everything.
Yeah, well, you're right. But people are upset about it. I don't know. The progression, of course, Ciri is the new main. I mean,
think
they've
Right.
been pushing that for years, dude.
They have.
I don't know why
I
they
think
didn't
it
just.
would've been cooler
Yeah,
if
go
they
ahead.
would have just had her do a time skip, because we don't know if Ciri's immortal or not. She's She's a big time Mary Sue, or at least she used to
She
be.
was
I
like
don't
a
know, they may have-
demigod in the last one, so
Yeah,
they may
she's
have
something
nerfed her
weird.
now. But regardless, they could have easily had her be the last, not a Witcher, but like she's the only one who knows their secrets, and
Well-
maybe have another conjunction in the
No,
future.
no.
And
I saw the
she
trailer.
restarts. No, I'm saying this is what they should have done. She restarts the Witchers. She rebuilds them
Yeah.
because she's the only one who
Well-
knows their secrets.
she has all these cool powers and everything. They could have just had her do that, and then also the fact that she was trained by Geralt and
Yeah.
what's his name. So you can still have the same fight mechanics and everything in the game. You just don't have the Witcher the
but
Witcher stuff. You don't
She drank the potion though.
the potion, and then
trailer.
she's got
Use
the
signs.
eyes
Use
and
signs. Yeah.
and here's the thing though. It's she was more powerful before this.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is.
Like the
Well,
monster she fights in the trailer, she would have smoked the shit out of that dude.
She would have.
Yeah.
Now, but the thing is, I understand why people are getting upset about it, and be upset all you want. That's fine. But the trailer's pretty good though.
It is. It's a pretty trailer.
Yeah, it is.
And I'll put it this way: the same thing with other Project Red games. The combat will be cool. The gameplay will be cool. There's just going to be story elements that are going to be stupid.
Yeah. And it's a cinematic. It's not like it's gameplay. So
Yeah.
But anyway, this is a big noise maker. They're happy about this, and that people are like, But
That
for
dude,
me,
that
Yeah, go ahead.
Heretic game looks terrible.
It
looks.
does,
It
but-
just looks so generic.
But Naughty Dog is all about the woke progressive, and they've been that.
Yeah, and
way
it's
for a
Neil
very long
Druckmann.
time. It's Neil
As soon as
Druckmann.
they said Neil Druckmann was connected, I was like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, but the thing is, this is their own IP. This isn't copying anything. They're not gender swapping anything. They're not race swapping
Yeah.
anything. This is their thing. They have power. Go right ahead. Do what you want to do. Now, I have no interest in playing a dyke. I'm not
Yeah.
interested, but I'm not angry at them. They can make whatever they want to make, dude.
Waste
It's
your
their
money
IP.
however you like.
Yeah.
As long as you leave Nathan Drake alone and never touch him again, I'm happy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they put that gay
The-
soy boy in there. What's his name again?
For what? You talking about the movie version?
Yeah, they plays Spider-Man
yeah,
too. Little
Tom
gay
Holland.
guy.
Yeah. No, I
Tom
look,
Holland.
I even don't hate that movie,
Zendaya's wife.
Yeah, I
but
think
it's
so.
not it's not Uncharted. It's just not.
This game looks cool as shit.
Yes, it does, dude. That's what I mean. Everyone's saying, "Oh, it sucked. Oh, the games suck. These suck." You got so much hate going on, dude. Dude, there's a lot of really cool things that were dropped at that awards, man. This being one of them. I mean, the Shadow of the Colossus and what was the follow-up?
Shadow of the Colossus, Ico, The Last Guardian. They've got them listed right there.
Right. Oh, do they? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right there. What am I? I'm stupid. Okay. But yeah, these are
Fail.
cool, dude. And they're coming out with a new one. Yes, please.
And it's a
very
mech game.
few games. There are very few games because a lot of people say games are art. Well, no, most of the time they're just games. But there are very few games that legitimately you can say this is art. And Shadow
Dan,
of the
this
Colossus
is
was one of them.
Yeah, that
100%.
definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is this is a freaking mech game. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my
Oh
god,
my
this is gonna be
God.
badass.
Oh my god. I kind of want to click it, but I know I get
I've
hit.
been saying
Yeah,
for a long time,
Yuta doesn't miss, man.
we need a Mechassance. I miss crazy mech games. that
There's
we
a
had in
couple
early
of decent
2000s.
ones right now.
Yeah, but they're just not making any. They're not getting any penetration.
What,
Well,
mech-
just because they're not
mech-
sucking, they're not sucking the DI tit.
Are you talking about Mech
That's true.
Warriors? If you want a mech game, go play Mech Warriors. It's really badass.
Yeah, but I'm talking like I don't know about Mech Warrior. So maybe it is, but I'm talking
Front
about like,
Mission 5 was really good. The last Front
like
Mission
back
was
in the
good.
day, like a Zone of the Enders or something like that.
Oh,
that
okay.
pace, that
Yeah,
high
yeah,
pace,
yeah.
fast paced mech games that we used to
Yeah.
have.
Just so you know, Bob, just for
Yeah.
future reference, it's Ueda.
Whatever.
Well, no, I
Ueda?
mean just so you know, right?
Ueda.
Ueda. But Ueda Fumito. Yeah,
Fumito.
no, that's awesome news. That's great news. Here's
Yeah,
one.
Yeah,
So,
that was the
two.
best looking trailer of all, I think.
So we got one bad, one good, one bad, one good. What do you talk about? Everything sucks.
batting
Right here,
50-50
Borderlands
here.
4. Who knows, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
They've been going the wrong direction, dude.
I never liked Borderlands. I don't know why.
First one was
Something
okay.
about it just
Yeah.
turned me off. I think it's the.
It's weird
I think
looking.
It's not the aesthetic. It's the insistence upon its humor. And the first
Maybe.
one doesn't have it
Yeah.
as much, but the second and third one definitely thinks
I
it's way
agree with
funnier
that.
than it is.
The Borderlands is the American Pie series of video
Yeah.
games. The first one was good. Everyone was like, okay, and then it's like, oh, the second one's the
No,
same
what?
shit. Oh, third
Stop.
one's the
Oh,
okay.
stop
We're
being funny 10 minutes ago.
we're
Stop.
doing the same thing again. All right.
Yeah. So I don't know what to say about this one because, like I said,
Yeah.
they're going the wrong direction.
Yeah, see, Booster gets it. The
Okami.
gameplay's fine, but it's creepy.
This looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Okami.
No, dude. I mean, this. I'm clicking this one. All right. Just
Yeah, Okami, that's
quietly
blast
clicking,
from
and
the
I'll
past.
do like this so they don't yell at me. Look at it,
That is a
dude.
blast from the past. I
It
forgot
is,
about
dude. Look
Okami.
at it.
That's almost 20 years ago, Chester.
Yeah.
Holy crap, we're
And it
old. What
looks
happened?
pretty too, dude.
Yeah. There's a couple of throwback games out of this one that
Oh,
are like,
no,
that were like the best.
I can't tell you how excited I was when I saw one of them. We'll get to it. We're gonna get to it.
Yeah.
Pac-Man goes dark in Shadow Labyrinth, dude. Now, hold on.
I
So,
don't
you
know
know
what
what
the hell
this is
this is
based off
about.
of, Chester?
No.
So on Amazon, they have that secret level miniseries that is a bunch of
Yeah.
episodic shows based in the worlds of video games, and one of them is Pac-Man. But when
Yeah.
you watch it, it
It's
is
like a
not
drone.
Pac-Man. It's really weird. It's pretty cool. I watched it. It's a pretty cool little, I don't know, 15 minutes or whatever it is, little thing that they do. And that's what this is. So basically, they took that idea and ran with it, and now we're
Yeah.
gonna actually make a game out of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
People seem
Yeah.
to like it, the idea of it. So here's another one that people are interested in. Don't know. Definitely. No. Yes. No. So far we're in the positive, aren't we? Kind of looks that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
Outer Worlds 2. Now I didn't get a chance to play Outer Worlds, the first one, but keep
I
in
did.
mind
It was
these are the
alright.
guys that created the Fallout Vegas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's really
Obsidian's there's another one of those series that's kind of fallen on hard times lately.
cool.
So Outer Worlds was okay. I mean, we always knew they were going to do
Solid
another Outer
7.
Worlds too.
Yeah.
Solid 7. It's
Yeah.
not
Oh, there you
terrible.
go.
It's not great.
What's wrong
it's
with that?
just
That's
Yeah.
excellent.
Yeah. No, it's
But yeah,
okay.
especially nowadays, you can get it probably pretty cheap. It's definitely worth
Yeah.
it. You'll have a good time.
Cool. Maybe I should check it out, but I just have so little time.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Pick it up on Steam sale.
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
If you
that's
want to
true.
get one that I liked more, that's very similar, get Greedfall.
Oh,
That game's
Greedfall.
phenomenal.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I heard about that one too. But so far we're way in the positive here, right?
Yeah.
As far as
We'll see with
good
Outer
versus
Worlds,
bad.
because unfortunately, Obsidian has swallowed the virus whole.
Yeah.
lately. So
Well,
we'll see.
okay. Well, then that's not a good thing to hear.
I actually
Now-
thought Virtua Fighter 6 looked pretty cool.
Dude, the internet lost its freaking mind over this shit, dude.
You Virtua Fighter boys.
Yep.
Goddamn right.
Honestly, most of the negativity was at the decision for the games that won the awards and the presentators. So
Yeah. I've heard there's a lot of noise, dude.
yeah,
But they just lost their mind. Now I played this game way back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
For sure. So people are very excited about this. Now, do you know anything about this one here? Split Fiction?
I
it's
don't.
it's from the same people who made this game called It Takes Two.
Takes
It's one of those
Two
games where
is-
you're tethered to another player and you can like annoy the shit out of each other.
Full
The
co-op.
characters in this one look friggin' like DI annoying as hell.
They do. Yeah.
All right,
It Takes
so-
Two was fun, but it was only fun if you were playing with somebody who's fun. Right?
Yeah.
Like if you were just playing it to play it, it was kind of dull and got boring. But
Yeah.
if you were playing with somebody who could, be entertaining on their end of it, then it was a good time.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, I
Yeah.
never tried this thing here, so I don't know.
But yeah, it's a full co-op game. You have to play co-op.
Oh, I
basically.
see. Okay.
This is another one I thought was badass.
Oh, dude.
Now this,
Dude.
boys, I wasted
Dude.
so much time on Onimusha
So did
back
I.
in the
Oh,
day.
really? Oh, we have something in common. I played.
Yeah.
I think there was Onimusha 1 and 2, right?
Yeah.
3.
3.
I
Okay.
think there was, yeah,
Yeah,
there's
because
three.
Onimusha 3 is the one that had Jean Renault as a character.
Well, I played all of them, is my point.
Yeah.
Anything Onimusha I played and absolutely adored it. Way back, dude. This is so long ago, right? Onimusha. But I loved Onimusha, and when I saw this, just watch this show. I don't care. Go ahead and hit me, YouTube. Watch this. Watch this. Just watch this opening, dude. Just watch this opening. When
And the setting is so cool.
it looks great, and the size, they really pulled it off. The gargantuan size of the fairy temple, right?
Hmm.
Just watch this scene, dude, right here,
Oh,
because when he
As-
comes out, I was like, oh, I was like a little kid,
Dude,
right?
as soon as I saw the spirits, I was
Yeah.
like, wait a minute, is
Hold
this
on,
is
wait
this
a second.
Onimusha?
I was
I
like,
knew
yeah,
what it was
right.
immediately. I haven't seen this yet, and I knew what it was immediately.
Yeah,
I was like,
no,
wait a
and-
minute.
because I was like,
I
hold on a
know those
second.
spirits.
Hold on a second. Watch.
This is pretty badass.
It is cool, dude. What's happening? Oh my God! It's Onimusha!
Ah, it was always so satisfying.
It was, dude. It was. So yeah, Capcom, you bastards. Yeah, I was like, wow, dude, Onimusha,
Oh,
what a
Onimusha's
blast from
so
the past.
good.
How long's it
It
been
is.
since we got the third one?
Oh god, dude, it's been
decades.
at
It's
least
gotta be.
at least 12, 13 years.
More, I think. But whatever.
Demon
It's been a
Siege.
very long time.
2000.
Uh,
It's been 20 years.
Oh yeah, it says right here, 20 years.
Onimusha 3 was released in. Oh my god, yeah, it's been 20 years, 2004.
Jeez, dude.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah, but
I'm literally smiling. That makes me so happy.
doesn't
that
it?
That era from 2000 to like 2008, we had
Yeah.
so many good games.
I'm gonna tell you what though,
Shit,
the
but
reason why
it's
the reason why they're doing this is because of how successful all the Resident Evil remakes have been.
Yep. Do it. I love
yeah,
it.
no,
Yeah,
please do.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah, please do. You
And,
know,
and if somebody gives me a freaking, and my brain just lost it, the Ninja game, what the hell, brain? If somebody gives it to me, I'm gonna be very excited.
You talking about the
Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden or
not Ninja Gaiden?
or
But Ninja Gaiden 2, that'd be great.
Tenshu?
Tenchu, yes. Wrath of Heaven was my jam for like a year. Me and my boy used to co-op that for a year. We would just we just pop in after school, pop in, boom.
wow.
Tenchu Wrath of Heaven. It was so good. It was a
Yeah.
ninja game.
Yeah.
It was a stealth game.
You know the interesting thing. Last year we took a look at
Jay Boosterman.
the movies that were going to come out in 2024, right? And we went through that list, taking a look, and of course, there's a few surprises that got released later, of course. And we were like, "Oh my God, this year's going to suck." And you know what?
Yeah.
This year sucked.
It did. Yeah.
It was
bad.
a horrible year for
Yep.
movies.
It's
But then
Oh, yeah.
bitter.
and video games too, in general. But then we took a look this year, looking at what's coming out in 2025. We saw a lot of things in there. We were like, "Oh, that might be interesting."
Mhm.
It looks
Mhm.
better, and dude, 2025 for gaming looks better.
I've
Oh,
been
yeah.
saying it. This next year, we are so back as a culture, not just because Trump's president, which is great, but just in general. You can feel it. There's a positive energy that is in the air that's coming into this next year that I haven't felt in at least 20 years.
Well, it's because a lot of these-
2025 is going to be huge.
A lot of these DEI games and stuff like that one from CD Projekt Red. You got to remember that was started about 4 or 5 years ago when they were still deep and balls deep into freaking DEI.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's still balls
Going
deep
forward,
in
the stuff that's going to come out for the next 3 or 4
It
years is
still is,
probably going
yeah.
to be very different.
But we're hoping it's going to shake off.
Yeah.
Grimlock. We're hoping it's going to shake off. But when I saw this, I was like, "Take my money."
Oh yeah.
Onimusha, dude. I love that series, man. Sonic Racing, okay, cool. People like that. Mafia,
It could be good.
The Mafia games are okay.
They're okay.
Sega and
Yakuza ones are
Capcom
better.
won it for me.
Oh, the Sega, yeah, that one was pretty cool.
Between that, the Yakuza prequel, Virtual
Mhm.
Fighter being back, Okami finally after 20 years getting
Right.
a goddamn sequel. Onimusha, of course, and of course because it'll be here in just a few in about 2 months. Monster Hunter Wilds.
Oh, right.
Um,
Yeah, my son's.
Those games have always been pretty decent.
Yeah. But the Okami, do you guys know what that means?
No.
God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I thought so. Yeah,
I thought Kami meant God. What does Okami mean?
Kami means spirit. Oh,
Oh, okay.
means greater spirit, meaning God.
Okay, so basically means God. I gotcha.
I
Yeah.
gotcha.
So okay, but like I said, I really prefer the Yakuza games over Mafia stuff. But okay, cool. Turok. Now I saw mixed on this
Oh
because
yeah,
a lot of people were like, "Oh fuck, what do you want Turok for? Turok sucks. Turok sucks."
I
And
want
we did cover
Yeah.
Turok in our comic book fall
Mhm.
series
That's right.
that I ran, right? And of course, it was at the center of it, right? But I kind of like Turok, dude. I don't
The
mind that.
Turok would be the only thing I'm looking at is like I'm looking at the chick. I'm going, oh god.
Fair, but it's pretty, dude. Look at it.
I mean, oh, no, it looks pretty, and as long as he's the main character, and they really dig into like
Native
the world
American
of
stuff.
Turok.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like with like the Native American, like if they do the what was the name of the evil goddess from the comic book, the one who gives them the technology. She's the one who gives them the bow.
Oh, I can't remember
I think
that.
it was called Godmother or something like that. But like if they do, like if they like go like kind of lean into that kind of thing with like the game, like with like the Native American heritage, everything mixed with
Yeah,
technology, this could be
it
badass.
could be really badass. And that's another thing I'm surprised they didn't latch on to sooner. Or maybe we're seeing it here because it is Native American. But you're right, the female in there might be coming out of the woke stuff. But who
Yeah,
knows? But a lot of
yeah,
people were like just shitting on it, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Turok was fun, dude.
yeah.
you also
And
have to remember when's the last actual Turok game that came out. That's like
20
almost two
plus years ago.
generations.
God, it was a long time ago, man.
Yeah, but that's like almost two generations of kids who have
Yeah,
no attachment to that series. It's all us old fucks who are like, ox out for Turok.
yeah. By the way, was it Bart Sears was on Dave Finch's channel the other day drawing Captain Atom.
2008 was the last Turok game.
Wow. Yeah, so like 16 years ago.
Yeah.
And that game's not even remembered. Everybody remembers the
Yeah.
N64 game.
I remember the the Nintendo 64 one.
Yes.
Booster's saying that he thought Okami was Okame. Let me go check it here. Let me see if they give me any kanji.
OKAMI.
No, that is God. Okame,
It's double O.
Okame would be wolf or werewolf, right?
Yeah.
Or a wolf,
So,
yeah. But they're
according to
spelling
this
it.
here,
The Romaji anyway is being spelled as God, not wolf. But you're
Yeah.
right. They are similar words. So maybe it's just a bad English translation. It's possible, Booster.
Confusing shit.
Well, I'm just
well,
saying
it
because
happens
they
a
are
lot.
similar. If they put an E on the end, it would change it. It would change it.
Yeah.
But the way they're
Yeah.
spelling it, the Roman lettering that they're using is says God, not wolf. I have to go check the kanji. Let me
Oh.
do that real quick while you guys talk about the next one. I
Oh,
don't
So
know if you
apparently,
guys know
according
about
to this
this
person,
Helldivers 2. They seemed like they was real popular, and all of a sudden they did something and people were pissed. By the way, I'm
They made
doing this
changes
through
to the
Polygon
game.
because it's funny. Go ahead.
Yeah, they made changes to the game that kind of broke the game and made it shit. But the idea of the game and like the storyline behind it's pretty cool. The one below. Oh, God damn it, Chester, come back!
I'm right here.
Oh, dude, yeah. So it's Helldivers is like 6 one way, half dozen other.
Well, yeah, but I mean, basically, Starship Troopers is what it is, right?
Yeah. It's basically what it is. Yeah, with a little more humor.
yeah,
Okay.
that's exactly what it is. That's what they aped. But
Yeah, they kind of ate that whole thing.
yeah, which
With
is fine.
do you
I have
want to
no
know
problem.
more?
I hear it's
Yeah.
really fun. I never played it just because I had a feeling
It-
exactly what happened was gonna happen. It happens a lot. You'll see these games come out of nowhere that get huge, and because the company or whoever, the management, whatever, isn't ready for that, they overreact and overcorrect to everything.
Yeah,
And that's what happened here. Any little problem there was, they overcorrected, or they ignored it for too long, or whatever. and it just drove their audience away. It's also one of those things, like a lot of this idea that games are forever. They're just not. Very few
No.
games can
Okay.
maintain an audience past a year.
Now,
Very few games.
in the chat, I just put in the because I can't find it. I'm only seeing an English site here. So let me just put this in here for you guys. This one, I just put the kanji in. That is okame, which means wolf. All right.
Okay.
Here, hold on a second. This one right here means greater God or God, right? So I
Interesting.
can't find it, and I don't want to take time here. All I see is in English right after the game. But if you can dig around and look at the original, because this is from Japan, I'm assuming. So if you can find how the Japanese are spelling the name of it, this will tell you. A matter of fact, I'm sure I should have put so wolf. And
Oh no, Booster, you've sent him down a rabbit hole.
God damn it.
God. So here you go. Just so if you guys can find it on your own, but the first one means wolf, the second one means God. So, but the way they're spelling it in English, it means God, right?
All right.
Yeah.
So,
Which,
but
yeah,
if
and
you
it's
can
a
find that
you
it's
know,
a Japanese version that shows the first one, then they mean wolf. But
I
so
think it's kind of both because the main character is like a canine.
a
Yeah.
God
So maybe
wolf.
maybe it was deliberately obtuse.
Maybe
Yeah.
maybe that was intentional. So it means because
Yeah.
an okami in Japanese can mean, of course, these are animists, right? So
Right.
it's coming out of Shindo, so it could be any spirit, right? Anything.
Yeah. But
But so maybe you're right. Maybe it's intended to be both. I don't know.
yeah.
But if you can find it,
Probably.
Booster, there's your answer. It was a good observation, though, Booster. It was a good observation. Good on you.
See,
Yeah.
Boost
He
is
gets
The,
10
on it.
points.
Look at him.
yeah. The
10
thing with
points to Kiwi.
the Helldivers is that they should have gone the same route as the Space Marine 2. We're just like, yeah, we don't care what you're saying.
Yeah, we're just gonna
Oh,
do what we
dude,
do.
Space Marine 2
and it's
looks
fun.
great, dude. You see that shit?
I've played Space Marine 2. It's bad freaking ass.
It does look badass.
It's so much fun. It's just
It
Space
got
Marine
the
blowing shit up.
it got the Cavill stamp of approval, so
Yeah.
I'm in.
It was, dude. That was like forget all this attempt to woke friggin'
Oh,
Warhammer
Chuck,
up.
Did you see? Did you see? I don't think you did. Did we talk about it?
What?
Oh,
They are
where they
going
said
forward with Cavill.
yeah, Cavill, and he's 100%
executive- he
producing
won.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Looks like he won.
Good.
Yep.
I'm glad he did. Because we need a proper Warhammer, dude. That would be
You
badass.
want to see a decent one? The secret level Warhammer.
The secret
40K
level, yeah.
episode.
I
It's
think
pretty
I
good.
can't remember. I think the character in that is supposed to be the same guy that's in the Space Marine 2 game.
He might be. He's a
Mm.
badass.
I can't remember. Dude, he's such a badass dude.
That's cool.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's pretty
Helldivers
good.
1 did really well. Maybe this will do well as well. However, so once again, we're way in the positive here. There were a lot
far,
of cool
yeah.
video games. Dude. Dude.
Ninja Gaiden.
Dude,
See, there it is. I just
it's a
talked
freaking
about
side
it.
scroller, bro.
Dude.
Well, I mean,
Dude.
it's back to OG form. Side
Dude,
scroller.
I
Telling you, man.
played the hell out of this game, dude. You know how tough
Oh,
this
Ninja
game
Gaiden.
was?
I
It's
love
so
this
hard.
game.
It's so hard.
It is great.
my-
It's beautiful.
One of my greatest claims to gaming fame, if there is such a thing, is that when I was a very young man, I beat Battletoads.
Mhm.
And when I got older and Ninja Gaiden came out on the Xbox, I couldn't beat it. I gave up on it. It was too hard. So I'd imagine this is probably going to be pretty damn hard.
Dude, I
You
remember
never
coming
know.
home. I got a Sega Genesis, and I remember coming home and from school and playing the shit out of this game.
Oh yeah. I played this a lot. I love playing this game. When I was like young married, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And there were the babies coming. I played this game, so it's old. Ninja Gaiden
Yeah,
is very, very old.
it's one of the OG licenses.
It is. Although it says, oh, here it is. Okay, here we go. Oh, dude, look how old school that looks.
It looks so good. Look at that. Look at the freneticness of it, too. The
Yeah.
energy. Oh, so good.
I haven't played a side scroller in forever, dude, but I might be doing something.
There's some good
Another
ones.
thing,
I
man.
know, I've heard.
There
yeah.
are. There are.
Yeah.
Another thing I've said for
Oh.
years is why did we abandon this perspective? There's so much more you can do with it.
And it's
good to see it
cel-shaded.
start coming back. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Good
it's
stick with
it's
that.
cell shaded pixel art, dude.
So it's
Yeah,
gonna
no,
last
it looks
forever
it
visually.
looks wonderful. It
Badass.
looks wonderful. And there have been a lot of good ones come out. Actually, I saw
Yeah.
my son playing a couple of them. But the I think the last one I played that well, not it wasn't last, but one side scroller I played I liked a lot was Oddworld, one of the more recent ones. That's an interesting side scroller. But I did watch a journalist not be able to get past the tutorial screen on Cuphead.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, holy shit, dude. Unbelievable. But I mean,
These people.
the awards they gave out were stupid, but the trailers in this thing were badass, dude. Look at these
Some of
blasts
them.
from the past, man. I mean, Onimusha, Ninja Gaiden, there's a lot of things, Turok, there's a lot of things here people are looking forward to, man. Find out this, of course, they're continuing this nonsense, don't care.
Yeah.
Tenkin.
Tekken,
People lost
Tekken
their
8.
freaking
Okay,
mind over Tenkin, dude.
this
Tekken.
guy, like, he's probably the most popular character to come out of Final Fantasy in a long time. And the gameplay for him in this, like, I haven't been a big a big fighting game fan for a while, but the fight, like the moves he has and everything, it works really well with Tekken 8.
Yeah.
So, and fans were really, really excited about this.
Clive Rossfeld is being
Yeah.
brought in. This is just it's already out. They're just adding.
It's a DLC, yeah.
Yeah, DLC. But cool. Warren Spector's stealth game, Thick as Thieves.
This was one of those. All right.
Oh, it's like one of those kind of mystery games.
Yeah. Well, it's like
that stuff.
it's
All right.
it's a 4v4 game, I think.
Yeah, no, I don't like those things. I tried them. That's where the assholes live. Slay the Spire 2. What? Dude,
Yeah.
Slay the Spire owned the internet for how long?
Yeah.
It was like at least 6 months, right?
It was big, so it's good. We need more.
We do.
Yeah.
It's such a simple game.
It's a-
I wonder if they upped the
it's-
graphics.
I can't remember. I think they did. But this is another small publisher.
It's still the same. Very basic, super basic,
but it's
cheap.
It's another small publisher that's making good.
Yeah, no, and dude, you know how many damn companies copied this formula? We were flooded with these card choice fighter RPG games. Flooded the mobile market. Holy crap, dude! This game's impact was enormous. So yeah, good on them, dude. Good, but it looks the same. Yeah, good on them. Dying Light. I didn't play the first one. You guys play the first one?
I played
don't care for it.
It was okay. And I'm not real big into the whole parkour game, like the whole style. I love zombie horror survival games, but this one was just not in my wheelhouse.
Yeah,
But it doesn't look bad.
I did see a lot of people make because it's just another zombie game, but I did see people make the comment that it's one of the few games that actually holds the kind of horror tension. A lot of games completely fail to do that. This game, kind of has a little bit of this Silent Hill feel to it.
Well, and it's a lot of the tension comes from the fact that, like, if you stop moving, you're gonna die.
Oh, all right. Well, there you go.
Yeah. Like it's one of those. It's kind of like what was that? The one where you play the chick and she's doing the parkour through the city. And she like lost her memory or something like that. It's kind of that same kind of gameplay, but with like horror game elements.
I didn't play that game. I played one with a dude that had superpowers. It was called Infamous. I loved it.
Yeah. No, it's not like that. This one's like the whole parkour element of it is a big part of it.
Dude, Infamous, it got long in the tooth like immediately. But the first game and maybe the first DLC, loved the hell out of that game. I love the perspective. The most perfect over the shoulder third person I've ever seen. The game is so smooth, it flows so well, it's completely unbugged. I didn't come across a single bug. And I'm like, why the hell don't we get more of those games? I mean, those guys nailed that game, dude.
They kind of whooped it up, so.
I don't know. But
Yep.
anyway, I don't know anything about Core Keeper. Anybody?
I don't either. And I don't know either. It's a
Little-
sandbox game.
uh,
This looks kind of cool. The Steel Hunters.
really?
It's a mech game from the World of Tanks people.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they've made a lot of money.
Oh yeah, World of Tanks is monstrously big.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but
I
it
don't
is.
either, but you know, hey,
Yeah.
they
This
make
looks
money,
like
baby.
it could be pretty cool.
Oh, look at that.
Look at that.
Someone's
Yeah.
giving me a Voltron before Voltron. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how has there not been a good Voltron game? Can someone explain? America, explain.
I played
yourself.
one, but it was kind of lame.
That's what, exactly. How's there not been a good one?
You're right, Bob. That it looks good, man. Grimlock,
Yeah,
are
it
you
looks-
here?
it could be-
He's here in spirit. Justin.
He is.
He's here in spirit.
Sifu Master. Okay.
Reveals-
Rematch. Sifu is a match master, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what it means in Chinese.
It's a soccer game.
Oh, yeah, it's not a real sport. All right. Yeah, no, we don't need that at all. That's for them Europeans. Overcooked creators give
I'll
us
play it.
strange fright.
It's a chick game.
Oh, okay. So now what?
It's another chick game.
What the hell? Why would I want? Oh, it's one of those what do you call those things? It's like a little story. You're basically reading a story.
Yeah, but it's also made by a super woke studio.
Well, it's got a male lead though.
Yeah, but he's kind of a bitch.
He ain't
I-
got no damn.
I like superhero games though. The bastards. Oh wow. I like superhero games, man. There is a really cool one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's coming. The thing is, what we're seeing here, the indie developers or the not AAA are putting out bangers, is what we're
Mhm.
seeing. And there is a superhero game. It's basically done in the vein of oh goodness, it's the RTS game there. What's that alien invasion? XCOM.
XCOM?
It's done in the vein of XCOM, but it's superheroes and it looks pretty good. I can't think of the name of it offhand, and it's almost it's kind of been in like a beta limbo for a while, but it is about to drop next year. So that's too bad. I hope that because I love superhero games, dude. We don't get enough
Yeah.
of them. What is
It's a
this?
racing game. It's a racing game.
Oh, if I got it. Okay.
This game looks pretty dope.
Kazan.
Yeah, it's basically you play it's like a fantasy Viking berserker.
Okay, well, it basically says the first berserker, Kazan means for the king.
I like that. That thing looks
Yeah.
fucking cool.
Yeah, I saw a guy playing the demo of this, and it's brutal as shit. It's kind of like it's kind of in like God of War mixed with Diablo.
That's not a bad thing you just said.
No,
That's not a bad thing at all. And
yeah,
dude,
you'll see in a minute.
now, whereas Diablo has dropped its nuts in a frickin' bowl of yogurt,
Yeah.
Path of Exile, which was awesome, but Path of
Oh,
Exile
dude, Path of Exile 2 looks dope as
Jesus,
shit.
they are absolutely
I'm-
killing it, man.
Yeah, oh, dude, and the Diablo developers are pissed.
I bet they are because they're absolutely killing it and they're doing it all for free. Now, of course,
Yep.
they have a $25 season pass, is it, or a yearly pass?
Well,
And I'm sure they're going to make money.
It's the thing where you pay for the game, but then you never pay for anything else ever again.
Something like that. Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're going to make a ton of money and they're just pure
Yeah.
love of gaming. Pure love. Go,
I watch
go
this, it's like,
support those guys. That is
sliced his
badass, dude.
face, dude. It's just this dude just murdering shit.
That's awesome. Yeah, this
Dude,
looks great,
yeah.
dude. This looks great.
You
Wow.
know what's sad is this should be God of War, but they pussified that too. So-
Yeah,
Well, yeah, because they woke up. Yeah.
Yeah.
and his
Hey,
little
man,
soy boy
boy.
son.
You want to fuck up, you leave a room for someone to step in. Good for us.
Yep.
This looks awesome, dude.
Yeah. This is just blood guts, man.
And
Whatever
it's a good
happens is
trailer
killing
because it
demons.
tells us exactly
know?
what's happening, right? I mean,
Yeah.
he's near death. Some spirit infests him, and he goes on to murder the world. Okay,
Yeah.
cool,
That's right.
got it,
That's right. He's basically Ghost Rider at this point. Okay,
Kind of,
in.
yeah.
I'm in.
dude. And
I'd
this
be in
this
for a
might be
badass
difficult.
Ghost Rider game like this.
Yeah,
Actually,
so would
I'm
I.
in.
Yeah, so would I. But dude, this could be like Souls difficult.
Yeah, it's I don't know about the difficulty. He just shoves it through his face. He's like, "Shut up."
Remember when just killing demons was just? It was like its whole. That was the point of the game.
Sure.
What are you
Just
here
to
to
kill,
kill?
yeah, just to kill shit.
or orcs or dragons.
Or dark
Can we
skin
just have
things.
that back again? Just kill things. Yeah, dark skin things. Can we just kill things again?
Dude, that does look good. That
Yeah, it
does
looks
look
dope.
good. And that's all they got here. It's not all the games. I just chose Polygon because I knew it would be stupid.
Yeah.
The first thing on the list, of course, is the thing people hate the most, right? It's
Yeah.
Polygon.
But as far as game shows, it was I would say 2-1 good versus bad.
Dude, there was, and there's more. I was going through and looking at them last night. There's all kinds of fun little indie stuff coming out, dude. It looks really, really like we have a good couple of years coming, man. Because this 2024 was the apex of shit.
Yep.
It really was. I mean, there's a lot of nonsense with gaming, so much bad stuff that overshadowed some of the good stuff. Movies were just absolute collapse, right?
Yep.
So this was a bad year. 2024 was the culmination of shit. So we'll see. But movie wise and game wise, the next couple of years look interesting.
hmm
Yeah.
It seems the gaming industry, and not all of it, not the big guys yet, but the guys right in the middle, what
Yeah.
Path of Exile calls the AA, they consider themselves a AA game. They've figured it out long before the big guys have because they're big bureaucratic nightmares, so it takes them a long time to move.
They are.
That people really just want good games. That's it. We've been telling them this for a decade, but they refuse to listen. We just want you to make badass games again. So, like, every one of us in here watched that Kazan trailer and we're like, oh, yep, I like this. They have no idea what it's about other than a guy with a sword killing shit. Yep, I'm in. Let's try that. That looks great.
Yeah.
It's
Now-
not that complicated. They keep trying to reinvent the wheel, and a lot of that is millennial nonsense about how video games are art. Shut up. Shut
No,
up,
it's
retards.
Tumblr
Video
faggots.
games are games.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right.
Games.
It's the Tumblr crowd.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, but those are mostly millennials. Let's be
Yeah.
honest.
But I mean,
And older faggots like Neil Druckmann, who like
Yeah.
so many other
God.
people.
God, dude, as soon as I saw
wishes
his
he
name,
was-
dude,
wishes
that
he was in
game-
Hollywood, doesn't have the talent.
I don't give a shit if that game looked badass as hell. As soon as I saw his name attached to it, I was like, I'm out.
Look,
Yeah,
there was
I'm
only
out.
one cool thing. There was only one cool thing about that trailer, and that was the Pet Shop Boys. Other than that, nobody gives a fuck about that trailer.
Dude, Path of Exile 2 is dope.
It's like
dude, this game
it
is
was
insane.
trying to be 80s cool without actually being 80s cool.
Dude, and you know the thing that's once again taking a motion capture actress that the actress it's based off of, who's actually fairly attractive, and making her look like a dude.
Yeah, no, that's their
yeah.
that's their shtick. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
because that's not done on purpose. Yeah, okay. And let's be honest, Naughty Dog has been skating on its name for 15 fucking years.
They
Oh
have-
yeah,
nobody-
the,
they
the,
have
well, the
like-
original Naughty Dog is gone. All the people
It
that were
is.
there
and
are gone.
I'm about to piss people off. Uncharted is a fucking mid-series at best, and I wish people would stop jerking that series off. I really fucking wish they would. It's like
You tell them good
it's
luck.
just
I don't
it's
know.
just
I've
a
never
bro
played it.
version of fucking Tomb Raider.
Yeah, I've
It's
never
not
played
that
it.
fucking great.
Um,
I mean, cool your tits up when
uh,
I hear people talk about that fucking series.
Cool your tits. I agree. What that's a I didn't know tits got hot, but no, that's not true. They do. That's true. Anyway, Path of Exile 2. Let's talk about this for a minute because, of course, anyone who's an actual gamer, and I know that sounds incredibly entitled thing to say, but actual gamers are in love, right?
Yep.
The journos are like, it's too difficult. Well, it's
Shut up.
mid-level difficult, mid-level. It's not that difficult.
No.
And it's too complicated. The skill system is too difficult. Now, the skill tree in this game is mad. It is
Oh
true.
god, but it's so cool because it just means that you can make literally anything.
Yeah, but it's also easy because when you
Yeah.
look at I wish they show a bigger picture over here. But when you look at the skill tree in Path of Exile, now I played the first one. I haven't played the second one here. Yes, it is insane how many freaking skill options there are. It's there. I don't know, 1,000. It's insane.
Yeah.
But it's not hard. In this game, you're meant to specialize. Where in a lot of games, especially with MMO stuff or the broader RPG stuff, you're meant to kind of balance yourself across the entire tree, right? In this game, you're meant to specialize. And it's quite easy. When you look at the massive map that is the skill tree, you'll see, oh, that's a hammer. Oh, look over there. That's a sword. Oh, that's
Yeah,
a bow.
they're all on paths.
Yeah. So if you're going to play an axe wielder, then go to the one that looks like the axe and specialize in it, right? I mean, it's not that hard. It's just these journos are spoiled for choice, and they're dumb that they can't see. Oh, look, you're supposed to specialize. So don't be put off by that. It's actually not that complicated. Now, to be fair, when Path of Exile came out, the original one, and it was in its beta. This is forever ago, right? I don't know. Geez, dude, 15 years?
It's been around for a while.
It was a long time ago. I played the beta and I put it down and I didn't play it again for a very long time because I was playing Conan, the original Conan. They came out, not the. It's gone through so many iterations, right? But the original Conan game came out. I bought the box set. I still got it. It's a beautiful box. It came with like a leather map. It was really cool. Anyway, I spent too much money on it. But I was playing that at the time, and it was better for what they were doing because they were obviously trying to copy Conan. You know, literally Path of the Exile. I mean, get it? Wink, wink. But somewhere along the line, they were like, "Yeah, that was a stupid idea. We should kind of do Diablo better than Diablo." They made a choice, and I heard people keep making noise about it, so I went over and I checked it out again. I was like, "Jesus, what the hell happened?" Right?
Yeah, that game is dope as shit.
Yeah, it is because Grinding Gears studio, they sit down and they really put they go to work every day. I think, you know.
Yeah.
Like you're supposed to. And they actually want to make something cool. They want to be successful, and damn it, they are. So yeah. Anyway, but my point is, go support these guys because it's free. It costs you nothing, and
Yeah.
it's
You can't. Yeah.
what is the
I,
current- Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Right now, for like $29, you can get the early access package where you get some bonuses and stuff. But when the game comes out, it's going to be completely
free.
It's going to be free.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
And then-
try the first one. Go try the first one. It's completely
yeah.
free. Go try it
And
out.
it's massive.
It is.
It's got like something like 25 friggin' expansions.
Well, what Asmongold is 50 hours deep now?
Yeah.
Something like that.
In Path of Exile 2 he is, yeah.
Yeah, Path of 2. I'm 1. He's probably
Yeah.
1,000 hours
But
into that.
1 he's played the shit
Hell
out
yeah,
of that thing.
because it's an amazing game. And the thing is, what is the current Diablo 4's download packet? What is it? It's like 120 gigs or something, right?
Oh, it's
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. This is half of that, and it's
Yeah.
5 times the game. Don't ask me how they did that, but
I
they
can tell
did.
you. I know exactly how they did it. They properly compressed their audio files.
I suppose.
how.
But I mean, it's
The
kind of
reason
insane.
games are so big now has nothing to do with what anybody thinks it is. It's the audio. They don't compress their audio files at all. So if you go and find, like, if you pirate a game and they have a rip, all they usually do in those rips is take out the other languages, and they're way smaller. They're half the size or less, and it's the full game, full resolution, full everything. It's just much smaller file because they ripped the audio files out.
Right.
Obviously besides English, but they ripped all the other languages out.
Right. Well, I mean, AI is going to there's going to be a big shift with AI in regards just to that. I saw a demonstration not a month ago where they had 2 AIs having conversation. There was 3 AIs having a conversation amongst each other in 3 different languages. Now, of course, the AI understands all language, so they could communicate, but they were communicating instantly through translation.
Yep.
Instantly. There was no wait a second, wait 3 seconds. No, no, no. They were instantly communicating in different languages. That is going to change the world. It's going to put me out of business.
Right.
But that's okay. I'm near retirement anyway. But yeah, no, that's going to change the world. And of course, it can be applied to video games. Instead of having to put all these language codes in, they could just put an AI code in. And now you have people who are playing multiplayer games that can be playing with someone, say, in Azerbaijan or Thailand, and they're talking to each other in their language, and they're hearing themselves in their language. I saw another demonstration not 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Where a dude was using for what's that website where you can pay money to take classes in anything? There's people that offer
Skillshare.
Skillshare. Yeah, thank you. He was doing Skillshare, and he used that same type of AI for it to be translated into. I think he said he was in 84 languages at that point, or something like that. And the thing he thought was really cool, and he showed demonstrations of it because he's like a woodworker, right? I watch boring shit. But anyway,
Mm.
but he was showing some demonstrations of it, and he thought it was so cool. Not only was it translating his voice instantly for him, it was his voice in another language.
Yeah, they've been doing that with famous speeches from the Mustache Man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Speeches, rather.
Yeah.
yeah. But I'm
And
just
they've also
saying,
been they've also been doing that with a lot of anime companies are tired of freaking localized translators like changing the story and everything.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, then we're just going to get an AI and screw you guys.
That's true.
Yep.
That is true. But I mean, that's going to change your compression rates right there, because if you don't have to put any of those language codes in, you just drop this one AI software that you just buy for whatever like $20 or whatever it is.
Yep.
Because whoever is making those, you sell it like 20, $50, and you're going to become a billionaire, right?
Oh, trillionaire.
Yeah.
Trillionaire.
So I mean,
No
but
doubt.
that's going to solve those compression issues right
If
there,
the
maybe.
first person to genuinely end the language barrier is a trillionaire.
Yeah,
That's done. That's
Yeah.
not even debatable. Guaranteed. First,
Ton of
maybe
money.
that might even be the first one, at least that we acknowledge. Uh, if Musk doesn't beat him to it, because it might be him. He might be the one to do it.
But I mean, so that is interesting. But this game is wonderful. Looking, of course, it's coming out. It's already dropped, I think, just like a day ago or
Yep.
something. 2 days
Path of
ago.
Exile.
Yeah. Oh yeah, December 6th.
It's in early access right now.
So it's coming out this
Yeah.
month though. But go try the first one though. It's completely free. Just go try it
Yeah.
out and see. It's such a fun game. If you like Diablo, this is a modernized look, beautiful looking Diablo 1 and 2 is what it
Right.
is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's smooth as silk, baby. Right? It's not buggy. And of course, that's one thing we complain about for years. So many of these AAA companies just drop these bug-laden games. It's not just Bethesda, dude. A lot of them do it. CD Projekt Red drops, Cyberpunk, and my God, that thing was it was a freaking nightmare, dude. That company, boy, how the mighty have fallen, man.
I warned everybody.
yeah.
I warned them before Cyberpunk came out
Yeah.
that I had a
Anyway,
bad feeling they've been talking to too many of the wrong people too happily,
Yeah.
shaking the wrong hands, and look at what happened.
Yeah.
Now, I'll give them credit when it comes to Cyberpunk. Whoever it is that actually makes the games in that company, who's still there, put their nose down and said, "We're fixing this," and they fixed
Yeah.
it, and it's a fantastic game now. And they're even still updating. They just put out another update just a couple days ago. But that launch debacle, that was unacceptable behavior from everybody involved. I've never seen a CEO apologize that profusely for in my life.
No, I mean, you're correct, Booster. Path of Exile does, for old school, it does need a lot of gigabytes for old school.
Yeah.
The newer games coming
Booster
out, it's like
refuses.
not even, it's half the size. But I mean, I don't know what the problem is. I mean, I got like, I don't know, 10 terabyte that I'm not even using. Catch up.
Booster refuses to admit that Cyberpunk was fun. He played it to completion, but he refuses to admit that he liked it.
Well, I mean, they got there in the end. It sounds like.
Well, he
But
didn't really start playing it till after they fixed it.
Oh,
I mean,
I see.
he tried it a couple times before that, and then he just couldn't get into it for various reasons. But once they, after the 2.0 update, and they really nailed the combat and everything, that's when he got into it.
Yeah, I never got around to playing it. But I pretty much the game time I have these days has all been sim related. But
I
anyway,
saw you playing The Sims the other day, you old lady. I saw you.
I like The Sims. I
I-
like building
I love it.
beautiful houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
I love
kids
the-
don't know good games. This is a good game.
I love Sims, dude. I mean, The Sims is really an interesting crossover. I mean, Maxis is 100% woke progressive, and if you want to play the game for the social aspect, you have to make a female character. That's just the end of the conversation. It's completely broken that regard. But it's a cool game because there are multiple ways to play it. And I don't really mess around with the social stuff inside the game. What I like is the building properties. Like I have an entire world, an entire save where I have all of the different worlds and they've all been converted because it was years ago they had this challenge, the medieval challenge. I converted all my worlds into medieval settings. It's cool, dude. I like
I
that.
can play as a little girl.
Shut up. All right. Anyway, we talked about Craven, and no, you can't actually play as little girl. It's not allowed. But
You
which is good
shut up. You don't tell me what to do.
because those Democrats are freaking weird. All right, let's just tell you that. Anyway, talk about Craven, how that is a bomb, that is a wicked bomb. But you look at this one, there's been a lot of controversy. Is super woke Lord of the Rings, as if you should be surprised. Look how badly that bombed, dude. And that's an
Yeah.
that's an animated movie, dude. Those are expensive.
Are they gonna learn not to
$5.
fuck with Tolkien fans?
No, they're not. They're not. Yeah.
Have they not learned this lesson?
Dude, Christopher died. They immediately got on woking it up. Christopher was the guardian at the gate, and he's dead. And the kids that are the family that's remaining just wants money, or they're woke themselves.
Just so we're
Yes,
clear.
but the term weaponized autism exists because of Tolkien fans.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. Yes. Just so we're
What
clear.
what did they think was going to happen?
They thought they were going to somehow make money off of what I'm trying to say here. A character that doesn't even really exist. She's mentioned not by name one time.
Her father's
time.
mentioned by name, and he's in like one page.
Yes.
Right, but
Yes.
that's true. What they're trying to do is you had Helm's Deep, which was considered one of the better scenes in the movies.
Yes.
And they basically have to have a female version of it, but instead of it being Helm's Deep, of course, it's Hornburg.
Well, it's also I love Tolkien. I do. But a full cavalry charge into Pikes is going to be a terrible outcome. I don't care who's charging.
Yep.
And that's
Well,
what he did at Helm's Deep.
Well, that's why they
What are we doing?
created Pikes, was for that specific reason. It's a very
I get it's
specialized
fantasy, but what are we doing?
Anyway, there's not much to talk about here with that. It's just those two things. I want to talk about Christmas because this is last time I'm going to see you
It
guys
is
for the holidays.
Christmas time.
Now, a
My
lot of
most
us.
hated time of year.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. Bah humbug. A matter of fact, bah humbug. But I do agree with the chat, though. The Muppet Christmas Carol is pretty awesome. It is pretty
It's
awesome.
good.
Yes.
Let's see which number one is, and I have to give Entertainment Weekly a heads up on this, because they did it correctly. They know how to make a page. They didn't start with number one; they started with number last on their list. So good for
Well,
them.
why would they pick 23? Though?
I don't
That's a
know. It's
ra-
been
you would think
weird.
It'd be 25.
They want to be. You got to be
Or even-
different. It's
or
that
even
damn
12.
mystery box. It's that Jar Jar Abrams shit. Okay. Anyway,
I tell you.
let's take a look. So number 23,
Wow.
Tim Allen.
That's way at the top. Okay.
That should be higher. I love that movie.
It is a fun movie. It is. Tim Allen does knock it out of the park. It's a fun, actual, genuine Christmas movie, a real one.
Yeah, where Santa Claus kidnaps his own son. Yeah.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep. And you got a problem with that?
No,
It's
worked
he's
out
got
fine here.
he's got kind of a wandering eye.
Little
bit.
a little bit,
Little bit,
Yeah.
little bit, but it's a clause, you see. The Claus.
Yep.
But that was a fun movie. It was a fun movie.
I literally just watched that yesterday. Not even
now,
joking.
I watched this a couple of years ago. This should be in the top 5 without question.
I've never even heard of it.
Go watch it.
That was not bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was cute.
It's a European, I think.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
But
Yeah.
it's basically how Santa, how Claus, Jasper Claus, becomes Santa. I guess is it Jasper or whatever. It's how he becomes the Santa or the current Santa, I guess. It's really good. It's beautiful, heartwarming, but also told in the way that we used to tell stories. In the fact that the adult can sit down and enjoy it with the kids. It's really
Right.
good. Am I the only
Right.
one here that's seen this?
Apparently,
I saw-
Booster
I
seen it, and
believe
he
so.
liked it.
Um,
Booster quite enjoyed it.
It's
Um,
freaking awesome, dude. Yeah, it's a beautiful movie. Beautiful movie. Number 21, Christmas in Connecticut. Oh, okay. Yeah, fine.
Fine.
Once again, I'm the only one here that's seen this movie.
I probably have. I don't remember it, though.
Christmas in Connecticut. I've probably seen it at some point. I just don't remember.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't think I'd put it on my list, but nevertheless, Gremlins. Fair enough.
Yep.
And of course,
One of the saddest Christmas movies.
boy howdy, that's a great scene with that's Phoebe Cates, right?
Phoebe Cates, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, she was so smoking hot, dude. Oh my
Yeah.
god.
That's that was like a super downer in that movie. That was like, oh yeah, my dad died, and his rotting corpse was in the friggin' chimney
Yeah.
for like 6 months.
Yeah, I know. It's so ridiculously bad. But now we were talking about old Sweeney Todd there earlier, and how she's the best we can do. Dude, she looks like a toad next to Phoebe Cates, man.
She is not the best we can do. She's the best they will give us.
That's just right. But I mean, Phoebe was, oh man, what the nostalgia, baby.
That scene from Fast Times at Ridgemont High got a lot of guys through puberty.
It did, dude. It did. Her coming up out of that pool, baby. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy,
Yeah.
Phoebe Cates. And she's not even very big breasted, but she just had the smoking. Gremlins, fun movie though. Good fun movie. The Holdovers,
I'm gonna
never
leave
heard
that
of
one
it.
alone.
Why are you gonna leave it alone? That was fun, dude. The Gremlins was fun.
No, I'm talking about Phoebe Cates.
Dude, Phoebe. Man, Phoebe.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta go grab something. You guys tell them what Holdovers is, because I have no freaking clue.
No idea. Never heard of it.
Literally never heard of it.
Yeah. I'm assuming it's got some kind of woke shit in it. That's why it's on the list.
Never heard of it.
Literally never heard of
Yeah.
it.
It's like Donald Sutherland in Kelly's Heroes. Never heard of it.
Great. I'm glad he walked away while we were on a movie none of us have
Yeah.
ever heard of. That's good.
Yeah.
Good.
Go
timing,
talk about this movie.
That-
None of us.
That's a nigga for you.
Yeah. No, literally none of us know this movie. Nope.
I've never even heard of it. It came out just a year ago. Nothing.
Yeah.
Probably, like you said.
Chester just literally pulled the equivalent of, yeah, you talk to the police or I'm walking away from the crime scene.
Yeah. This is that scene in every action film when the hero and the sidekick walk in and there's like there's like 2 ninjas and he looks at the sidekick and goes, "You got this," and he runs off and leaves him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I got it. You got it.
You
It's
know,
all good.
The sidekick's
Okay,
wearing a
I'm back.
Hawaiian. It's like slightly overweight and wearing a
Hey!
Hawaiian shirt.
Can someone tell me why this looks
No.
British?
No, I can't because none of us have ever seen it or heard of it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've never seen this. It looks British though, even though now that's an American actor.
That's Paul
Whatever.
Giamatti.
Okay. National Lampoon. Oh, of course.
Wow.
How is that so low?
Yeah. Why is that so low?
18? That's madness.
Yeah, that should be like top 5.
That's easily top 5. Not even. I don't think it's debatable. To be honest. I just
Yeah.
I just watched this the other day too. Actually, with
A lot
my
of
wife.
lot of sap.
I actually like it a lot better than the original Vacation.
Oh, that's I think it's the best vacation movie of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chevy just kills it. And what's the guy that plays it's his brother-in-law, right?
Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Randy Quaid.
That's Randy Quaid.
Wow. Now
That's
that guy
Cousin,
lost his damn
cousin
mind.
Eddie.
Huh?
Cousin Eddie.
Yeah, Cousin Eddie.
Eddie.
Dude, Cousin Eddie is freaking fantastic. Although he's lost his damn mind. His brother, what's the brother's name? Dennis?
Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid, yeah.
He's doing pretty good. He just put out a movie with Reagan, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And something else too. So he's doing all right. But his brother is, and I even saw him talking about how he misses his brother, which is interesting that they are not in communication because Randy's lost his damn mind. He's literally. Did you see that video he put out where he's basically literally fucking a girl that had what was it, a Trump? What was she wearing, a Trump mask or something like that? She had this paper cutout mask on her face, and he's literally fucking her from behind. Right? No, I'm not shitting you. Yeah, Randy has lost his damn mind, dude.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love crazy people as long as I just get to watch them.
Yeah, no, he's lost his damn
Don't have
mind.
to talk to him.
Yeah. And they had it at such an angle that you couldn't really see anything. So technically, it's not necessarily pornographic, I guess. Although he literally is fucking her. So, I mean, it's happening. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know what happened to Randy. But nevertheless, yeah, this is a great movie. Way too low. Scrooged. I liked it. It was fun.
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, Bill Murray. Christmas
Murray.
Carol
And they
tape.
got all the shit that I like in the fucking bottom wrong. What the fuck, man?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we're
know.
about to get some nonsense at the top of
We
here. I hope
might.
we're-
Well,
hope
this
we're
is
all ready.
Entertainment Weekly, so.
But then again, they've been making Christmas movies since they've been making movies, so we got a long way to go here.
We do. Dude, one of the very first movies from the 1880s is a Christmas movie. The
Correct.
Sugar Plum Fairies, right?
This is correct.
Gay.
Right, what, French? Well,
Yeah, it's French.
it kind of. Yeah,
Mm.
it was kind of gay. But anyway, number 16, Die
There
Hard.
it is. I knew
There
it was coming.
is.
That's outrageous that it's above the stuff it's above, but I knew it was coming.
Yeah, I'm all right. I guess I love the ongoing argument, the feud. But it's it does take place on Christmas. Christmas is an important part of it, but it's an action movie. But it's a great one because Bruce Willis is at the peak of his powers, and of course we have I never remember his name. Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman
is just
one of the greatest,
freaking
one of the greatest film villains of all time.
It's
young Alan Rickman.
yeah, but I mean, Alan is just knocked it out of the park so many times. This is a great fun movie. So fair enough. This would actually, when I'm talking about filmmaking, this would be my choice for number one.
As objectively as a film, as far as what you're, yes,
objectively.
I swear to God, if the remake is put above this, that's some bullshit.
That's some pure bullshit.
This is a great
there's no
movie.
doubt. It is. It's truly a great movie.
And it's actually emotional storytelling. I mean,
I don't know why they put Santa's belt around his nipples, but other than that, it's a great movie.
Remember the style from back then, man. All the guys had their pants pulled up to their friggin' chest.
That's true. But nevertheless, it is a wonderful movie. It is a wonderful movie. White Christmas. This is Bing Crosby, right?
Bing Crosby,
Bing Crosby, Gene Kelly.
Oh, they got here.
Yep,
They got Rosemary
Rosemary
Clooney
Clooney.
too.
It's a great movie.
It is fun movie. I liked it.
It's a movie that, even though it's a musical, somehow celebrates masculinity, something you would never see them do nowadays, because one of the main points is their gratitude towards their commander, the general, or whatever.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
We'll follow the old man wherever he goes.
And although, for some reason, Mariah Carey has become the face of Christmas, the best Christmas song I've ever heard in my life was Bing Crosby and David Bowie.
Oh yeah,
that song is so perfectly put together.
Stacking the deck, but sure.
But dude, I'm just saying, those two guys who come from disparate worlds came together and made something beautiful.
That's what happens when you get talent with talent.
Yeah.
And they, I will still.
Yeah, go ahead.
Wave the flag for the Nat King Cole Christmas album.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Cole is always gold, dude.
Hearing Nat Cole,
I mean,
Nat sing.
Yeah, but Nat is awesome, dude. He is awesome. You're right.
It is.
But I'm just saying, if I have to pick a Christmas song, freaking Bing Crosby and David Bowie just knocked it out of the park. And if you look at the interview with them after making it, they had such reverence for each other.
Well, it should. You
Yeah,
want to know what's crazy about Mariah? You mentioned her. That song, which everybody knows what song I'm talking about,
sure.
has made her over $100 million alone.
Yeah, good for her.
The most
One
successful
song.
Christmas song of all time, I believe.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Which is
that's
funny because that
crazy.
didn't really start happening until like the last 5 or so years. Because like
Oh
nobody
no,
was
it's been
talking about that
it's
album
been like
like
that for
that.
like a decade, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
But I'm
it's been
saying
about a
like,
decade, but still,
but I'm
it's
saying that
recent.
album came out 30 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I
Mariah
got
blew up late out of the nowhere. She got even bigger than ever before.
yeah.
Like in the last
Well,
decade or so, she's gotten
they
huge.
there was a passing of torch between Whitney and Mariah, of course. But
Hmm.
I always thought it was interesting because there was people were doing that, the passing of the torch, and I was like, well, there's no need for it. Whitney is very classical voice. She's
Hmm.
very classical, and she's amazing. Mariah is wild. You
Well,
don't
she
know what
was.
she's going to do next. I mean, they're not similar. You can
Hmm.
have both, right?
Yeah.
Because
And we did.
Mariah lost her damn mind along the way. But
Well,
boy, that girl
Married
can,
Nick Cannon.
dude, that girl can
yes,
sing, man.
she can sing. She's a very
Yeah,
impressive vocalist.
Sony Records has a habit of doing that to
Yeah.
their artists.
Breaks
Y-
them.
My,
Yeah.
my wife was watching the other day, and it shocked me. She was watching this stuff because all the revelations about Diddy, of course, supposedly, of him
Yeah.
being involved in the poisoning and killing of people, and Whitney being on that list, and her daughter, right?
Hmm.
My wife had heard this, and she was because she loves Whitney, right? I actually took her to see Whitney Houston in the Aloha Bowl. But so she was very upset. She went on a binge of watching Whitney Houston stuff. She got caught on the Bodyguard stuff with Kevin Costner, which I've never seen. Of course, I've never seen that movie. Nevertheless, um, watching all the background, dude, those two were in love. He loved her, and she clearly loved him. Boy, they should have worked that out because she'd still be alive. You can
Yes.
see it.
He
I mean,
might have saved
those
her
two,
life.
he would have saved her life. Dude, those two people loved each other. You could see it.
Yeah.
Pure love. I never knew
That's why
that.
it worked on the screen.
Yeah, I guess so. But I didn't know that there was something going on behind the scenes. I mean, she was probably dating, he was probably married, but whatever. But
Happens a lot
yeah,
in
but you
movies.
could see it, dude. It was, oh my goodness, those people are in love, seriously. And boy, what a shame they didn't work that out, right? Because Whitney, that was a horrible way to die. She lost her mind with the drugs and stuff. But Whitney was a freaking national treasure, dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Aretha, or Patti LaBelle probably have the more interesting character-filled voices.
Hmm.
To be fair, but they're both human wrecks, right? Where Whitney Houston, I guess, was a wreck, but not only is she an insanely good singer, that was a fine, fine woman.
Yeah.
Well, I
Maybe
think a
you
lot
got
of it had to do with her relationship with her mother. Her mother was very controlling.
Yeah,
Mhm.
maybe. I don't know, but what a shame. I didn't know that because if she was with Kevin, she'd be good. She'd be all right, you know? And he would have won the freaking lottery because damn. I mean, Whitney Houston, dude. Dude, she's a smoke show. I
What?
know that when
Well,
Mariah was young, she was super cute. She was. I ain't taking nothing away from Mariah. But
Decent rack
Whitney
too,
was a
Mariah.
smoke show, dude. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
Grimlock.
Whitney was a much more classic beauty.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, just beautiful woman and one of the most beautiful voices we ever heard. She's super classic. I get that. But I mean, Grimlock, you got to be on my side with this.
no, because I love Whitney, but I've always preferred Mariah.
All right, fine. That's fine. No,
Whitney,
I
Whitney,
understand
Whitney's like
Mariah's
looking at the
voice is.
artwork. Mariah's like being married to the painter.
Yeah,
Mariah's got
no,
the heavies.
and
Yeah.
Mariah is an absolute phenom of voice. She's generational. I mean,
Hmm.
she's kind of like Christina Aguilera is now. I mean,
No,
generational of voices. I get it. I get it.
hell no.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Dude,
I would
Christina
never put
Aguilera,
Christina
I
Aguilera in
get
the
it.
same
She's an
category.
absolute a slag, as the British like to say. She is.
Brewster's
But
favorite. Yeah.
that girl can sing, sing, sing.
She can sing, but she is not Mariah's category
So
or Whitney.
I
here's where
I
I
think
get the
she
rant.
is. They're not. They're
Nine,
generation separated. But
Oh boy,
9.
look what you've done. Look what you've started. Here's what
uh,
I get to rant. I cannot. I've come to hate Tim Burton. I don't like
sure.
him.
But this movie's
I don't
awesome.
like anything he's ever made. I tried to. I even tried it with this movie because my wife loves this movie.
Yeah.
And I just, the older I get, the
If
more it just makes me go, everything
I'm
about him,
not
everything about
mistaken,
his
this was
movies,
not
all
so
of it.
much as his movie as his name was attached to it.
Yeah.
Well, it's still very much his
'Cause it was a
style,
different
though.
director. I forgot the
It
director's
was a
name.
different director. You're right. But my family loved this movie as well.
I
I
did
thought it
too.
was fine. It
I
was
just liked
cute.
it.
But my daughter absolutely adored this movie,
Yep.
and I could always
It's
make
the
her
white girl
smile
in her.
because I can sing the Jack songs just like Jack, and
Aw.
she just loved it. So for me, it's
Aw.
more about how much my family loved it more than what I think about it.
Yes. Regardless, I'm still of
How
the
dare
mind
you
that
be a family man, Chester? How dare you?
I know,
yes, you son
such
of
a
a bee.
bastard.
Yeah, my whole opinion on Tim Burton is swayed zero, and this movie doesn't help. I don't hate Nightmare Before Christmas. It's just, it's one of those things where if you don't love something and people love it, it's just like, it turns you off to it, right?
Mhm.
And people are obsessive about this. I mean, this movie's still, the brand of this is still just outrageous how much
It
money they
hit the
pull in.
kids, dude. It hit the kids hard.
It hit the young girls, is who
Yeah,
it
Well,
hit.
yeah, and it also like yeah, you know what it was is the kids got older, it stuck with them,
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
did.
and they showed it to their kids, and then they showed it to their
Right.
kids, and it's just
It's
I
largely because of the style of it is it's basically immortal because it doesn't age. Right? It
No,
looks the same
it's
as it
true.
always has.
That is true.
Yeah.
But I have a problem with it where it is in the list. I think this is kind of perfect.
I think it's there for a
And
reason. I
and
think
the
they're being
13, of
cheeky.
course. Look at
Yeah.
13. We did it. We did 13.
13.
Okay, fine. Henry Selick.
Wait
There
a
you
minute.
go.
Wait a minute. Go down. What are we doing?
I guess it takes place around Christmas. The
What are
prostitute
we
does have
doing?
a
I
well. The
love trading
prostitute
Yeah,
places.
but I
does have a
mean,
Christmas tree in the house. She
I
does in her
love this
apartment.
movie. This movie's great. It is not a freaking Christmas movie. Nothing
so
about it
so
is a
is that
Christmas movie.
is that the fucking the bar here? Like there was a scene where a motherfucker had a wreath on the
Yeah,
door, so
it
it makes
seems
it a
so.
Christmas movie.
Die Hard's in
no
it.
the whole first part of the movie takes place during Christmas.
It does. No,
Yes.
it definitely does.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but it's not a
fucked up.
Christmas movie.
With the
I'm on
Santa
Grim
and the
Life
whole
side.
deal.
I'm on Grim Life side.
No, and it even if it was, it wouldn't be this low on this list. Are we going insane? This is
I
better than
mean,
Christmas Vacation? Are we nuts?
Yeah.
This is better than the original Santa Claus or Miracle on 34th Street? Have we lost
Not
our
a
minds
chance.
right now?
Not a chance. Although
I
I do
mean, this
love
is
this
one of my
movie, though. It's
favorite
freaking
movies.
awesome, dude.
Oh, I love this movie.
This is
Yeah, I
Dan,
can
my
watch this
favorite
movie
Dan
anytime.
Aykroyd, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
it's
Eddie,
a
of
perfect role
course,
for him.
is Eddie.
Perfect role.
It is perfect, and yeah, I do love this movie.
And I love how Eddie keeps these two characters in his movies going for not these two necessarily, but the old men.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the old
Mortimer.
dudes. Yeah, the Muppet guys, the critics.
Yeah,
Yes.
Don Amici and what's his name?
Mortimer.
Now you
Yeah.
get
Well,
Mortimer.
no, the actor's name was Don
the
Amici.
actors. Yes,
Don
Don
Amici.
Amici or whatever.
I know what you mean though.
Oh, come
but
on. I know his name. But regardless, I do love Trading Places, but it's
Yeah.
not a Christmas movie. And
No.
even if it was, that's way too high on,
It's
on
way too
any
high.
list.
Yeah. Let's see here. Home Alone. Oh, okay.
I think
Okay.
that should be top 10, but yeah.
Yeah.
Was
It's
it-
definitely
was
Christmas.
it-
100%.
Oh, Ralph Bellamy.
Even
That's
better.
the name of the other guy.
Yeah. Home Alone is not only a great Christmas movie, it is a great Christian allegory. Fantastically done. It's done so subtly, most people don't even realize it. It's a great movie.
No, it is wonderful. The first and the second one, and then it kind of goes into weird places.
And it gets a little weird. Then we dovetail a bit.
We did.
bit.
But you got two good ones. And Trump was in it. Oh, that's right. They cut him out.
They did. But
So petty. So petty.
so stupid.
So petty. All he does is make a cameo. So, it's over there. That's it. But you got to cut him out because Trump. And as if Trump
Yep.
isn't and New York aren't synonymous, right? I mean, come on.
I'll give Booster this. I agree with him. I would say it's more of a allegorical movie than it is a Christmas movie.
Oh well, but it's appropriate for the list though. I mean, these New Yorkers are crazy. Do they not realize that most of your downtown in Manhattan was built by Donald Trump? Do you not know this? Do you not realize you're walking around the streets and going into buildings built by that dude? Do you not get that?
I really think that the majority of just regular people in New York don't have a problem with him. I think it's just the crazies.
No, I agree. You saw that when he did his rallies in New York, and he picked
Yeah.
up what frickin' 8 points in New York, 8 points,
Yeah,
or something like that.
increased his black vote with by like 13%.
I thought it was 23 in New York.
It was high. I mean,
Yeah, it
he
was
got.
really
I think he got like double digits more votes than the last time.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah,
But
money
yeah,
talks, man.
money talks. And he's also courageous, as Thunder was talking about earlier. People respect that shit, dude. When he stood up and he said, "Fight, fight, fight," after getting shot in the ear and almost dying, that was the end of it, right there.
That's one of the most. That's going to go down as one of the most iconic photos in history.
Yeah. I mean, he, that was so natural and organic. There was nothing
Right.
rigged or planned like we see with so many of the Democrat shit. That was just Donald Trump, right? Anyway, number 10. All right, fine. No problem.
Yep, that's fine.
Yeah,
Might
we all
be a
grew
little
up
higher.
with
Okay,
this
That's
yeah.
fine.
over and
Yep.
over.
Old
Yep.
Rudolph. It's a great movie.
Grimlock, would you like to pick on the dentist?
No, it should be higher.
Yeah,
What
you're
the fuck are
right.
they doing?
Yeah, I think it should be higher. I agree. We're gonna get some nonsense coming up here. Just be
Maybe.
ready. It's
I
coming.
know one is coming and I'm going to scream.
I know exactly what it is.
But yeah, this is a classic. We watched it every year. I showed my kids. They loved it too. It's eternal. And there's a few of these Raskin Bass, isn't it?
Yeah, Rankin Bass.
Rankin Bag, right? Rankin Bass, thank you. Yeah, these things are killer. This is another one, Rankin Bass, the year
Yep.
with Santa Claus. I am Mr. Heat Miser. Yeah,
I tried
so
to
great.
find that movie for years on DVD, and it was very hard to find. The Year Without
You can
Santa
find
Claus.
it now, yeah.
Yeah.
But this is great. More Rankin Bass stuff. Muppet
There you go.
only number 8. I kind
I
of
think
figured
that's
this
a
would be
little
top
silly.
3, to be honest with you.
Well, there's got to be at least another Christmas Carol on here. I mean, come on, they've made a freaking 100 of them.
Yeah, but the chat was right though. This is one of the best renditions of a
It is.
Dickens.
Yeah, I can't remember the chick's name, but she does these videos where she looks at movies and stuff or TV shows, and she talks about how accurate they are to the time period. She said this movie was surprisingly accurate
Huh?
Oh
Sure.
yeah,
to like how the world worked at that time.
Yeah, why not? I still don't understand how a pig and a frog make a frog, but okay. Just don't think about it too much.
Sweet and sour pork.
Yeah, that's straight sweet and sour pork. That's right. But this was a really good movie, though, for sure. Should be higher. We keep saying that. So what's going to be our top ones here? Bad. Oh, you fuckers.
Oh, God
You
damn it.
fuckers. All right. This is a fun movie, but it should be
It
like
is.
20 or
Yeah.
30.
Yeah.
There's no way that
It's not top 10.
No.
It's not top 10.
that Christmas
it
Vacation
would
should
be in my
below it.
top 10.
I do
It
love
would be
Bad
in my
Santa.
top 10
I
because
do love Bad
I
Santa.
am a vulgar degenerate. So
Yeah, no, well, dude, it's fun movie, but it's Christmas this is not the spirit of Christmas, and that's the whole joke of the movie. There's
Well,
literally
it is in the trailer park.
there's a giant fat black lady complaining about anal in this movie. All right,
That happens.
it happens.
By the
not-
end
it's
of
not-
it, he finds his spirit. It's fine. He's allowed
It's
to
not
be a
better than
bad person.
Muppets, and it's not better than Christmas Vacation.
Although the midget elf is badass, though.
He is.
yeah, Steve Cox was on
It is.
Honestly,
Oh,
I think he makes that movie, dude.
he does.
He
He's
does.
so good. But anyway, it is fun. Billy Bob is Billy Bob. These
Oh, for the
people.
love of
God
everything that's
damn
holy.
Yeah. See, you're complaining about Bad Santa with this.
I'm not
fucking
complaining about
faggot
Bad
thing
Santa
up there.
anymore.
This movie here has one good segment. And it's the Bill Nye one.
Yeah, but it's Hugh at his power of being romance sexy guy.
Ugh.
I like the new Hugh. I like the second rendition of Hugh way better though, dude, because he's killing it right now. But God,
Yeah.
but it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, Bill Nye's character in this is awesome. The rest of it's just like, bleh.
Yes.
Right?
I had to watch this because girl.
Yes.
Bleh.
Were you guys forced to watch this as well?
No.
Yeah, my girlfriend at the time was like, it's the most romantic movie, and I'm like, there's only one. They're like, Like later on, I was like, oh, that's the dude from Walking Dead. Okay, this is like slightly more tolerable.
You want to hear something that is weird and mystical and phenomenal and possibly of a conspiracy theory?
Ah,
Yeah. Um, for some odd reason, every time Meg Ryan during the 90s dropped a new movie, I was on a first date with a girl.
Oh,
Explain
she's your
that to me.
muse.
well, in the
Explain that to
'90s,
me.
she was kind of like the romantic lead.
She was, but I mean, how is it that it's not with a girl, an ongoing girlfriend? It's always a first date. It's weird.
Meg was out here
There's
getting
another
you laid,
fucking
and you're complaining.
I know
there's another
Meg
pack of
did
soda
get me laid,
crackers.
so I'm happy with Meg. I ain't got no problem with Meg. I'm just saying it is bizarre. And of course, that the last Meg Ryan movie I ever saw is the one where I met my wife.
Meg Ryan
Aw.
is a perfect example of what we were talking about earlier. Find your lane and run in that son of a bitch
Oh
until
yeah,
they cut you off.
hmm
And she did. And she made a lot of money.
she did be mega cute, Meg the cutie.
Yep.
Anyway, let's
No,
see.
she
We're getting
wasn't.
our top five.
I'll talk about Sydney Sweeney. What the fuck people thought that chick was.
Yeah, it is. It's just saying it's the best we got,
Good.
and that's what I was
My,
talking about.
my buddy
Number
Clint
5.
Liskey loves her, man.
Okay, well at least
Number
it's in the top
Meg
5.
Ryan is the soda crackers of white women. You
She
just
is.
she's just
She
there.
is.
that
She
should
is.
be 2
She
or
comes with the
3,
meal.
if not 1. The Grinch. I am the Grinch. I'm
Grinch.
glad to be the Grinch. I'm glad there's a word for me as a person that I identify. It's representation, Chester. You
Mhm,
see, it's
mhm,
very important.
mhm. Are you also
Uh,
green?
but this should be. I can be
Mhm.
when when the liver
When
gets
need
when
be.
get
When
liver
need
gets
be.
acting up. Uh, but no, it's one of those that this 5's fine, but it's probably
No,
top 3.
it's top 3.
It should be
Yeah,
top 3. Yeah. This movie is generationally iconic.
yeah.
Not only just the little story it's got, and of course, this fun little simple story from Dr. Seuss,
Who's
but the
trying to get
song
banned?
alone, the song alone,
Well,
right?
Boris
that
Karloff.
Yeah. No.
and
Yeah.
the
It's very
You're a
good.
Chuck
demon.
Jim.
Chuck Jones animation style
Yeah.
Yep.
that became so
The Grinch
iconic.
smile is
Yep.
iconic. Everybody knows it
Yeah.
immediately when you
And
say it.
and you're right, Booster. The Jim Carrey version is amazing.
It
I
is.
mean, you put a
It
mask
is.
on that guy, he's killer. Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
He's well, he was crazy guy for a while. Potentially, this is we don't know the truth, but maybe has something to do with the death of a girlfriend or 3.
Might have,
Nevertheless, he's found God now. He's Christian now. I don't
that's
know if you
fine.
know that.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, pulling
It's
a
all good.
Paul. It's fine.
It's all good. Okay. Anyway, Grinch, amazing, of course. Um, what? Jim Carrey, killed it. Yeah. Number 4. Oh, you flourish. I got
Wow,
you.
I'm
Bet you
happy.
did.
I actually
You
was
you
sitting here thinking it's probably Elf. I'm just
I,
happy it's
I'm
not number 1.
I'm just
Happy
not a
it's not
fan
number
of this movie.
I don't like Will Ferrell.
1.
I like a few of his movies. This
Yeah.
ain't one of them.
Uh,
And you
eh,
want to talk about
Yeah.
something that should be in the low 20s? Look, I get it. I know a lot. I'm just gonna say it. I know a lot of white people who love this fucking movie,
I hate
Yeah.
this.
who
I
quote
hate
this fucking movie, and I could give less than 2 shits about this
Yeah,
movie.
I can't stand.
It should be
I can't stand
it should be in the low 20s.
I wouldn't even put
There's
it
a bunch of
on.
other
I would
movies
just
I would
erase
rank
it.
above
Yeah.
this.
To me, this movie is the Tenacious D of friggin' Christmas
Oh
movies.
my
Yeah.
gosh, the hatred for
Yeah.
Elf. I love it.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
love the
Um,
hate.
Ed Asner doing something other than diabetes is a good thing.
Diabetes. You
Yeah.
got diabetes.
no, you're talking about
Wilford Brimley.
Wilford
I know.
Brimley's
That was. Yeah. I was trying to make a joke. Okay. Fine.
No,
You
because
failed.
you can't because
All right.
Ed Asner had done so many great villains by that time.
I
That,
would put
that
Charlie
was
Brown
J.
at
Jonah
5.
Jameson in the '90s. God damn it!
That's
This
fair.
should be this is top 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Definitely
should be,
Charlie
I think
Brown.
this should be number 5.
Top.
Personally.
This should be number 1.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I wouldn't be upset if it was.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hate it.
It is strictly about Christmas. And the interesting thing is this one does something that most Christmas movies don't do. Most Christmas movies focus on Yule, right?
Yes.
The Scandinavian, Christmas. But this one actually is a Christian Christmas movie.
Yep.
Correct. Yeah. I was just thinking that we haven't seen any real like actual ones about
Yeah, this one is
Christmas.
about Jesus Christ, the baby Jeebus.
The little baby Jesus.
Yeah, it's what it's about. And
Yeah.
that in itself is cool. You know, it is what it is.
But also timeless, because how many kids know who Peanuts are strictly because that this comes on once a year.
Yep. No,
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. And there's a song in here with Snoopy. It's da 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 da
Oh, yeah.
da da. And I play that on the
Christmas
saxophone
time is
Christmas
here.
time. I play that
Oh.
on my saxophone. I played it at those kind of slow old people concerts. But I'm telling you what, I have a really nice tenor saxophone. And some songs are better with alto or Yanagisawa or whatever. But that song on my Yamaha nickel saxophone, nickel plated saxophone, holy dude. It just reverberates the entire freaking room, man.
The Vince Giraldi soundtrack also timeless.
Well, it's
You-
just something about the toning of the from the writer of the song. Frickin' genius, dude. The way it sets in, I just can't tell you how absolutely shockingly gorgeous it is. This song if it's played really beautifully, will bring a frickin' tear to your eye, dude. It's just impressive. It's very impressive. But anyway, number 2. All right, fine. All right.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine
I'd say
with
I don't know if it's number 2. It's top 5 though.
I only hate
for
this
people.
movie.
It's iconic.
I only
shoot
hate
your
this
eye
movie
out.
because it's overplayed like nothing else. It is during Christmas back in the day when I used to have cable and stuff. TBS would run this literally for
And
24 hours.
Yeah.
and
I don't know
TNT
I
when
think
that started.
didn't like for like 5 years TBS did like a 24-hour run of this thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
well,
I
not just that,
I
it was-
can't anymore with it.
It was TBS and TNT simulcasting it for 24 hours, and I don't know when they started doing that.
And then they
Like-
started doing it with It's a Wonderful Life.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
the thing
I
is,
don't know why they did that.
but for a lot of people, this is their live action Christmas movie.
Yeah.
It is. For a generation or two, right? They don't have the old stuff we were talking about earlier. And of course, we know what number 1 is. Obviously, it hasn't been on the list yet. But I'm not angry about this. For a lot of people, this is their Christmas movie, and of course, we know it's got to be this one, right? So,
Oh yeah.
it's a wonderful.
And you know what? I'm not mad at it.
No, yeah.
It's been overplayed to death, and there's others I enjoy better, but it is the quintessential Christmas movie.
It is. It's about suicide.
Yes, it's about wanting to kill yourself.
Yeah.
No, it's quite literally about what you remember how you said. Only the Charlie Brown movie is directly about Jesus. That's correct, but this one is also about what the purpose of the Christmas season
with the
is.
angel and stuff. Yeah, no, that's true.
It's redemption.
Yeah, it is.
Clarence.
Yes, Clarence the angel.
Clarence, yeah. Now, Booster says, "Where's the Justice League Christmas special?" To be fair, where Kal-El takes John Jones back to the Kent farm for Christmas is really really sweet. It is sweet.
It is. It is a good time.
You mean
And I agree with him. Always Sunny Christmas special. Yeah.
What was that,
Yeah.
Grimlock?
Oh, yeah.
It's a nice scene, dude. It is a nice scene where he gets a sweater. And she said, "I didn't really know your size," and then he basically puts on Superman's body and says, "I can grow into it."
Yeah.
It is good. You're right.
Oh, the part where they mentioned, I forgot how they mentioned it, and Clark goes, "You meant from Santa, right?"
Right. He gets mad. He gets mad. Right.
That's the
He
part
gets
that
mad.
fucking
It's cute.
kills.
But yeah, that scene alone, it is really, really good because that's the side of I guess in that case Clark that we don't see, right?
Mhm.
Because he is Superman, he is Kal-El, but really he's Clark. I mean, that's
Still
who
Clark.
he is.
Yeah.
Right.
Bruce is Batman. Clark. Superman is Clark.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's such I like the fact that they chose to just bring it down and not do superhero stuff and just take them home for the holidays, right? It was a great idea. It was a great idea. But anyway, there you go.
And
It's a
and it,
weird. There's
and
some weird shit, but there's also some standard shit on here. So
and
Yeah.
and following Booster, even though it's not considered a Christmas movie, I will always include on my list Twilight Zone: Night of the Meek.
Night of the Meek. Have I seen that
Yes,
one?
yes, you probably have.
Yeah, I probably have.
You know what
That
this
is the
tells me?
episode where I always forget his name. The man who played Norton on Honeymooners.
Art Carney.
Art Carney.
Art Carney. Art
Yeah.
Carney is playing a mall Santa, but he's a drunkard,
Oh yeah. Mm.
and his
Yeah.
wish was to actually be Santa so he could give gifts to the world, and he gets granted.
Yeah. No, I
Um,
remember
That
that
the,
one.
was
the only thing this list really tells me is that there has been a severe lack of high quality actual Christmas movies about Jesus Christ. Because,
It's true.
wow,
Yeah.
that
It's
is
true.
not good. That's
Well,
real bad, America. What are we doing here?
well, for most people, Christmas is Yule with a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit of
pagan.
Saturnalia
Why I don't
thrown
like
in.
it's the main reason I don't like Christmas. It's pagan and consumer. It's heathen more than anything. Even it's
It
not
is.
even really Christmas.
Yeah.
Like the
But
celebration of Jesus' birth is so far down the line for most people. It's silly.
I do have a question. If you are a pagan, is it then still heathen?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, heathen just
I
means
just had to check.
non-Christian, basically.
Yes. Well, you know.
No, and the thing is, with one of the things that Christianity has always done, which they learned from the Romans, because they are the Romans, was they adopt other festivals and other things, other cultures into their own and bring it in. And just like you said, it's just Yule. Most of Christmas is just Yule. There's no difference. I mean, there's people who still burn Yule logs and everything. Like, there's no difference. The only thing they did is they stapled Jesus onto it, who wasn't even born in December. So there's that.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yep.
I'm still in shock over your definition of heathen.
Why? That's what heathen means.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
What's heathen mean then?
Rule.
Tell me exactly.
It means rule. Someone
Heathen.
from the
Let's see.
rural area is what it means. Paganus, from the Roman paganus, it means rule.
Let's see. According to Merriam-Webster, heathen means a person who is not religious or whose religion is not Judaism, Islam, or especially Christianity. According to Merriam.
Yeah.
According to Miss Webster.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you that the word comes from the Latin, and it means rule.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's where it came from, right? I'm sure it came from during the days of the church. You had these troublemaking Germans, and they were heathens. Just kind of like how
Maybe.
barbarian
Maybe.
just meant not Roman, basically.
Yeah, but paganus, it comes from the word paganus. I know that.
Yeah.
So let me see here. Let me go check. All right, in Old English, yeah, they're taking out a Hayden. Yeah, okay.
Mhm.
The Old English definitely means not Christian. You're right.
Yeah.
But the original German is coming out of it means
Means them
Yeah.
hillbillies.
rule. Yeah. Anyway,
Just admit you're wrong, Chester, and move on.
well, I'm not actually wrong. Not technically.
Of course,
Yeah.
but you are.
No.
There, see,
No.
see, Booster found it. Look, he found it. Booster. So we're both kind of correct. Because words change, obviously. Like I mentioned barbarian. What barbarian means now and what it used to mean are two totally different things.
So Booster
Um,
is on my side. What are you talking about?
Yes, I'm saying Booster is saying what you're saying. However, like you just said, once it got to English, it meant something else. And it's the reason being is
Oh, it
almost
found its
certainly what I
proper
said.
meaning. Oh, I see. Okay.
The reason being is almost certainly what I said, because anybody who was not Roman, basically, wouldn't have been Catholic or wouldn't have been part of the Roman Catholic Church, so they called them heathens, which was just meant just country folk, basically. But it was the same thing. That happens a lot, though. Words take on double meanings.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with it. It's just my brain automatically went to the earliest etymology because that's how I'm trained.
Yeah, because you're a psychopath. We got it.
Yeah, fine. Anyway, that was fun. Yeah, boy, I'm kind of curious how things are going to go over the next month because I won't be back I'll be back in a month. I'm gone 3 weeks. So we'll see how things go, particularly Syria. I'm curious what's going to happen with that. I'm also curious of how much more nonsense the current government is going to do between now and January 20th because
Oh, you mean trying to get us into World War III? Yeah.
they're trying. Boy, first of all, where is
Trying their
Kamala?
damnedest.
Where is Biden?
Who cares?
Is he still lost in the Amazon? Why is everybody in the world literally going to Mar-a-Lago? He's not even president yet.
They're
What
kissing
the
that
hell
ring,
is
that's
going
why.
on?
Well, they got to
Kissing
figure
ass.
out some way of pinning all this shit on him.
Well, no, they have convinced themselves that he is going to, as soon as he gets in, that he's going to come after all his political enemies. So they're out there,
Even though he said the opposite.
they're out there breaking out the chapstick and getting on their knees, going, "Remember, we was only doing our job, right? You're not gonna come after us, right?"
Yeah, that's what cracked me up when the director of the FBI quit. I'm like, you do know you could still try even if you quit, right?
Well, they were upset because they wanted him to fight it a little bit to make some consternation for Trump. But a lot of these people, because Trump has been very clear. He's like, yeah, I got more important things to do. Now, I put people in charge, DOJ, FBI, stuff like that. If they see there's criminality and they choose to go after it, that's them doing their job. Me personally, I got stuff to do, particularly drill, baby, drill.
Got a country to run.
Yeah.
They're lucky it's not me
He's
as
safe.
president. I would have him scared. I'm like, maybe there'll be a firing squad for you. Maybe they won't.
Right.
Keep an eye out for your mouth.
Well, keep in mind, he chose not to go after Hillary in the first time. He should have. He should have.
He should have. He should have. Yeah. I understand where he's coming from, but he should have.
Dude, did you see old Bill throwing his wife under the bus the other day?
That
That was great. That was
pretty
great.
good.
He's a
Yeah.
wife and name only. We all know that marriage
Yeah,
isn't
we
real.
do. We do. She's got her lover. He has his.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that
Yeah,
was
Baphomet.
pretty interesting. But of course, he's correct. He's correct because the simple fact of the matter is that his statement was very clear. Trump is it's not like first time. Trump's very popular. He has a mandate. We need to get behind that. He's 100% correct. Old Billy Clinton, old Billy boy.
I know what side my bread's buttered on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Or he's just gotten old enough that nothing matters anyway, and why not just be honest?
It's more that.
I'll be honest with you. I'd rather have Monica.
Well, Monica would,
would too.
light him up. So
Literally.
Instead of that friggin' Gollum-looking hag.
Oh man, it's. I'm telling you, next year's gonna be something else, boys. We're gonna see. I've been saying it for a few months now. With the stuff we see coming down the pike, politics aside, because that's a whole nother realm. I'm talking about technology. I'm talking about the cultural shift. If it keeps going the way it's going, and I've been telling people, just survive the next few years, and we're going to enter a golden age that humanity hasn't seen in centuries. Because we've been living on the down end of a gold age. We didn't realize it.
We have been.
But we have been. We're very, very close to another one. Very close. And Trump winning is a good sign because the way forward through a Kamala Harris presidency is dark. And I think everybody kind of knew it. Because you even have guys like Chunk Yogurt out here talking about how optimistic he's become after Trump won. Now, that could all be BS. Maybe it is. But I see that a lot from people who you wouldn't think would give a damn. All of a sudden, there's just this optimism. They're already talking about it in the market and the economics, the optimism. You got things like crypto going to the moon. Trump talking about he wants to build a crypto reserve worth $15 trillion.
Yeah.
That's a great idea. In fact, I'm surprised it took somebody this long to do it.
I
But
guarantee you
my
that's Elon in his ear.
oh
Maybe,
yeah,
yeah.
Elon knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Elon
Well,
knows what he bought himself a president. He knows what he's
he
doing.
does.
Uh,
But keep in mind,
my point is, we just have
Cenk
to keep
Uygur
going.
is controlled by Qatarian money. So with
Yes,
Cenk
Yeah.
talking about what he's talking about, it kind of shows you where the money in the Middle East is shifting.
which is a good thing
Yeah.
because that influences a lot, that Middle East money. Uh, we need this to happen as a species. I actually genuinely believe that we needed this vibe shift, especially after the pandemic. Not even gonna get into the whys and hows of that, but just culturally, spiritually, the energy of humanity has been in the toilet since COVID,
Yeah.
and you can just feel it.
Yeah.
Everything's getting back to better, and that's good.
Yep.
That's a good thing. We just got to ride this wave. There's no telling how long it's going to last, but ride this wave, and you never know what might happen. You never know.
And you see, Cenk gave his nephew what for the other day too. Do you see that?
I did.
He got in his shit. I was like, finally.
Oh,
A little bit of hard
it
love there.
feels good.
It does. But
Feels
anyway, I got to
good.
get
This
to
is
work,
what
guys.
should have happened the last time Trump got elected, but there were too many traitors in the way.
Yeah.
So now they're gonna try. They're gonna try their nonsense, but I just don't think it's working.
Dude,
I think there's too much force behind it this time. I don't
That
think it's gonna
Matt
work.
Gates play was genius, dude. He
It was.
exposed those 5, and now all of them are in line. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but someone got their ass slapped.
No,
He
they he exposed them to the people, and they're like, okay, well then next election you're gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. But it was
And Elon
genius
said,
move of
"Listen,
Matt Gates. And
I've got
what
the
is he-
money. I can make sure you lose." That's
Yeah,
what he
no,
said.
and the thing is, Matt knew that going in. You could see by his wry smile,
Yeah.
at the end. And what is he? Where? Because he's out of the Senate. He's out of the politics,
He's out.
right?
Yeah. He's
So
done.
what position is Trump guaranteed him? I think.
I think they're saying that he may take what is it the Senate seat from Florida?
He might. Yep. Because
Oh, maybe they were just moving him around to get another Republican in. Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah, I think
A
that
better
was one of the
Republican.
things they were talking about.
much
They're
better
up to some
Republican.
shenanigans. Trust me.
He's
But anyway, I
also
gotta go.
planning on, from what I understand, he's also planning on doing a lot of media stuff too, like
Oh,
just
that, yeah,
becoming a
cool.
firebrand.
Yeah, but he is a firebrand.
Yeah.
He
I
is
gotta
the guy
take off
say,
too.
why are all these ones
Spider-Man.
complaining about abortion, fat, ugly chicks? And they say, don't you think that's mean? Don't you think you should? People are getting upset. Isn't that a problem? He says, be offended.
That's
Yeah,
right.
all day I'm for Matt Gaetz. Anyway, you got something to say, Bob?
No, I gotta take off, get ready for work.
Cool. Grimlock, you want to say something?
Well, since you're gonna be gone, enjoy the rest of your year, man.
I will. I'm going to be in sunny Malta.
Nice.
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah.
Watch it rain the whole time.
Shh. Knock on wood. Of course, that place gets very little rainfall. No, I'm going to enjoy
It's
it.
a paradise.
I will jump over Sardinia and probably go to Ibiza and maybe the Bordeaux. I don't know. I got 2 weeks in the Mediterranean basically. So we'll see what we do with it. But it's the first time I've taken an actual vacation in a long, long time. Because you guys know I travel, but I'm working. Right, I do a
Right.
little vacation stuff in it, but it's working vacations, right? This is actually a vacation. I haven't done this. I can't even remember, dude. 20 years plus. It's been a long
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it. I'm literally not going to think about anything. I'm not even bringing a phone.
Nice.
So all right.
Nice. I like it.
Well, thank you guys very much. Have a good holidays. I'll see you next year. Take us out of here, man.
He will. I'm gonna do one of my new ones that our boy Chester here really, really, really likes,
Mhm.
and it's simple as this: when you feel unworthy, happiness just makes you sad. Merry
Aw.
Christmas, everybody. Jesus is Lord. Remember it.
Namaste. Later, everybody.